This is a day that college football fans circle on their calendar every year. If you're an alumnus of Wabash or DePauw, this is the day on your calendar every year. It is the 129th Monon Bell Classic, and we are honored for a third consecutive season to have it on the ISC Sports Network. From the all-new Little Giant Stadium, we welcome you to Crawfordsville, Indiana, and the picturesque campus of Wabash College. Alongside Brad Wochomurka and Steve Hoffman, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. DePauw comes in at 9-0, Wabash at 7-2, but much like a season ago, all the stakes are at play. The winner of this game claims the belt. They also claim the automatic bid from the North Coast Athletic Conference and a berth in the next weekend's Division III playoffs. Inside of the broadcast booth, we thank you for joining us. And Brad, with DePauw being the visiting team, we'll start with you. 9-0. It's the sixth time, or make it I guess it is the sixth time that the Tigers have been a 9-win team. They've never been a 10-win team. How'd they get the job done today?
Well, I think you look at this DePauw team, Greg, and it starts with the defense. One of the best defenses in the country. In fact, their rush defense is one of the best at all three levels of NCAA football, allowing just 46 rushing yards per game. But you know what? Their offense is pretty darn good, too. Nathan McCahill, the junior quarterback out of Cathedral, his first full year as a starter, he's only 3 touchdowns shy of tying the DePauw single-season touchdown passing mark. So, you think good on good. This team is good all around. But a lot of times, DePauw and Wabash haven't seen an opponent as good as the one they're going to face until this 10th game of the season. So you might think you know a team after 9 weeks, but until you get to the Monon Bell Classic, throw some of that out the window, and unpredictability can reign, and we may see more of that this year.
And Steve, the Little Giants, been thinking about this one since a snowy day down south 364 days ago. What is that motivating factor after a 5-touchdown loss in Greencastle a year ago?
Well, one of the things that happens at Wabash is there's a Thursday morning chapel. It's basically a pep session in the chapel, and the captains speak. And what we heard there was a quiet resolve since last year in a healthy way. Wabash they'll be first to admit that it didn't go well last year. They've been waiting for this game since. Number 2 in particular didn't play well last year, and he's ready to fix that.
Well, let's talk about that number 2, because Liam Thompson is 32 yards away from breaking the North Coast Athletic Conference record, as a pretty fair quarterback is looking on to toss the coin for a second consecutive playing of the Bell game here in Crawfordsville. Archie Manning will be joining us, in fact, as will Kevin Clifford, during halftime of our broadcast, and we'll talk more about Liam Thompson, the student then. Let's talk about as the quarterback. He's also 175 yards away from breaking Jake Knott's all-time passing record at Wabash College. What are your expectations for Liam today?
Yeah, I think Liam just needs to play his game. We all saw last year things didn't go well early. He missed a few open receivers early, and then things were going downhill quickly. DePauw scoring pretty much at will and running the ball against our defense. And then the pick six that was tipped. And then I think at that point, Liam started to take the game onto his shoulders and tried to press a little bit. There wasn't much there, though. We talked about this DePauw defense last year. They're even better this year with everybody returning. So Liam just has to play within the offense, play within the game, do his job, and he's talented enough to make things happen.
You touched on Nathan McCahill, and Nathan was a one-year starter at Cathedral, has waited the last couple of years behind quarterbacks Andrus and Rennie here at DePauw, and you've touched on it. 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The former Cathedral Irish star is 3 touchdowns away from tying the single-season school passing record.
Yeah, I think, I'm sure for Nathan McCahill, he's like, hey, all this talk about Liam Thompson, that's great, but I'm over here and I'm a pretty darn good quarterback as well. And look, the conversation about Thompson is absolutely warranted. What a player he is. But McCahill, has a chance here to
Shake
really
him up, gentlemen.
Stamp his own legacy on this game. But it's not just through the air. I mean, Gus Baumgartner, we saw what he did last year. He's one of those kind of old-school running backs that seems to get better the more you give him the ball and just wear out a defense as the game goes along. So they're going to rely on Baumgartner a lot, especially, obviously, to keep the ball out of Thompson and the Wabash offense's hands.
Let's listen to our referee, Pete Hampton, working his 5th Monon Bell Classic.
And with his sons Cooper, Peyton, and Eli, host the Manning Passing Camp each summer. He is a member of the College Football Hall of Fame and serves as the chair of the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame Board.
So Pete Hampton.
He is also a member of the National Football Federation.
DePauw as the visiting team will get to call the toss.
College alumnus Kevin Clifford, class of 1977, is a fellow NFF Hall and Fame
Both these
board
two
member
teams
with
phenomenal
Mr. Manning.
offensively.
Now,
Wabash has won the
referee,
toss.
Pete Hampton.
Let's see exactly how they handle it.
Wabash has deferred their choice to the second half.
So DePauw clearly will have the football, and last year, Brad, DePauw set the tone for that game by scoring on the opening drive.
Well, I'm sure they'd love to do nothing more than the same thing this year, Rake. And, we'll see when they come out. You get those opening drive, first quarter jitters a little bit. Now, last time on this field 2 years ago, DePauw came out and raced to a 21-0 lead. We all know how that ended up as Liam Thompson Little Giants rallied back. But still, you want to set the tone early, knowing that you're going to have to give the ball to Wabash to start the second half. So a big, important drive for the Tigers to come out.
We've got two very interested spectators that are standing by before this game kicks off. And with that, let's welcome the fourth member of our broadcast crew. Here's Kelsie Kasper.
Thanks so much, Greg. Two special guests indeed. I'm joined by DePauw University President Lori White and Wabash College President Scott Feller. And President White, we'll start with you. The most anticipated game of the season. What does the Monon Bell not only mean for DePauw football, but for your university?
Well, it means everything to us. We are 9-0 going into this game, looking for an undefeated season against our rivals, the Wabash Little Giants, in one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football. Let's go Tigers.
And President Feller, an opportunity to host this year. How exciting is it to have all your students and thousands of alumni here to celebrate?
Well, the last time we had this much excitement here was at our commencement ceremony. It's a joyous week to be at Wabash College. We've got thousands of our alumni here. They're very excited. The chance to see Wabash take back the Monon Bell and to end DePauw's undefeated season as we head off to the Division III playoffs is a great opportunity for all of Wabash.
You can tell it's a great rivalry. Thank you so much for both of you. Appreciate your time. And of course, good luck, you guys. Greg, back to you.
Let's go Tigers.
Thank you, Kelsie, and thank you to both presidents of these two wonderful schools. And again, you have lived the Bell as a player. You now do it most every year, Steve, as an analyst. But again, Wabash College is your full-time employer as well. What does Bell Week mean to both of these institutions?
I don't think players appreciate how blessed they are to be have this game at the last game of the year, because no matter how your season goes, you have the Bell game to finish with. And as a player, you just go through that. But I look at these other Division III schools and these other Division III rivalries or just last games of the year, and they're just regular games. This is always something that's circled, always something you can do. They're lucky to be playing in an environment like we're looking at right here.
Daniel Roach, one of the deep men back for DePauw, one of 85 Indiana natives on this DePauw roster. He played for Central Catholic High School. On to kick the ball away, Brody Rucker will have that opportunity for Wabash. And there's always a trick play or two. There's always also the possibility that the opening kickoff could be returned for a touchdown. Heck, in 1994, both opening kickoffs were returned for touchdowns. It's that type of game, and we are thrilled you are with us on the ISC Sports Network. And Roach will watch that one sail in the end zone for a touchback, and the DePauw Tigers will have the football at the 25-yard line. We've given you some of the particulars on Nathan McCahill, and as Brad alluded to, Gus Baumgartner is tremendous. He is one touchdown away for being second on DePauw's all-time leading list in terms of rushing touchdowns. It is a massive offensive line led by fifth-year senior Blake Hoffman, 6'5", 325 out of Cathedral High School.
Oh, and they'd love nothing more than to be able to have Baumgartner reach that 5.7 yards per carry average he has right now and just dominate in the trenches, much like they did a year ago.
223 yards rushing in the Bell game. Baumgartner a career high 155. It is a handoff to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner gets a yard, and that is it. Tackle made by Wabash. Stephen Thomas on the play, and let's talk about defensive stars for this Wabash team. Players like Joe Rios, Gavin Rupert, Will Olive come to mind.
Yeah, and they've gotten better as years gone on. We had some rough years on defense, and we were talking before the game. As we know about Wabash's offense and DePauw's defense. This is the interesting matchup of the game right here. DePauw's offense against the Wabash D. 2nd and 9.
Blitz coming. McCahill fires. Catch made. First down. Ballantyne taken down at the 45-yard line. DePauw tackle made by Will Nutting, but it's a first down for the Tigers after a pickup of 20 yards.
Yeah, it's just a simple pitch and catch and a nice move by Ballantyne to get out of the tackle, and that's all timing right there. And McCahill hit the route perfect time, and Ballantyne able to get yards after the catch.
Ballantyne, a sophomore wide receiver, approaching 40 catches on the year, has 8 touchdowns as well. So ball now at the 46-yard line. Fake the handoff, quick hitter, that's Quigley. Quigley hurdles a man, crosses the 50, and taken after a gain of 8 yards. And Brad Quigley kind of is the Swiss Army knife, does a variety of things. One of the many Carmel Greyhounds we'll see for DePauw today.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't expect to see a tight end with those kind of moves, but this is a guy that they'll give the ball on end around, some designed runs. He really can do a lot of things for this offense, offer some versatility, and that's a nice design play. You got to get that block outside. They did on the far side of the field, and that gets them 8 yards.
Cahill 2 for 2 so far in terms of throwing the football. Just the 4th play of the game, and already DePauw has crossed the 50-yard line. McCahill, catch made. First down inside the 25-yard line. That is Jalen Smith. And Brad, he is the big play target for the Tigers.
He really is. He's always a touchdown waiting to happen. He has one of the biggest average yards per catch in all of the country across all levels. And he's been playing regularly since a freshman, now a junior. A big play threat anytime he touches the football.
Steve, what's the adjustment here early for Wabash defensively?
Well, it's interesting because Coach Ridings, our defensive coordinator, thought we needed to stop the run. And DePauw would have to run to set up the pass. They're throwing the ball without being real successful on the runs right now.
Pistol formation with a fullback to lead. Baumgartner cuts back, tripped up, picks up the 20-yard line on the play. So far, Wabash has limited the damage in terms of the rushing game. It's been the passing game. It's been the big play opportunities. Last year, a 75-yard scoring drive to open the game for the Tigers, and they're threatening to do the same yet again.
Yeah, one of the things Coach Riding said was we needed to tackle better. He said last year tackling in this game was atrocious, so let's keep an eye on the tackling from the guys in red.
Already a red zone opportunity here. Flare out to Baumgartner. Baumgartner with blockers in front, lowers the shoulder. He'll have a first down. Going to be 1st and goal to go for DePauw, netting on the tackle for Wabash.
That's just simply get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them make a play. You need one block to spring that. They got it on the outside with Quigley. And it's another first down for the Tigers.
Baumgartner, not a guy that usually is much of a threat receiving out of the backfield. Nor that's Caden Whitehead, the backup. And because so many of the games have been lopsided for DePauw, their twos have gotten as much action as their ones have during the course of the season. Don't expect to see that today. 1st and goal. McCahill looks, fires, and overthrows his man. Frankly, if he didn't, that would have been intercepted. Fantastic coverage that time by Cooper Jarvis for Wabash.
Yeah, and you'll see Wabash playing a lot of different defensive backs back there, but still not getting much pressure at all right now. And that's the one thing we saw last year was DePauw winning in the trenches. So you let him stand back there and look around, and he's going to find somebody open.
Jarvis, a junior from Western High School, just outside of Kokomo. So 2nd and goal. Fake to Baumgartner. McCahill throws, touchdown. Ballantyne caught the first pass on the 2nd play of the drive. He ends the opening drive, and for a 2nd time in as many visits here to Crawfordsville, DePauw is on the board first.
Well, Rake, you mentioned it. If that's the script you want to start the game, then DePauw ran through that script perfectly. Right down the field, a combination of runs and passes, and McCahill looks really, really comfortable right now, hitting several different receivers on that drive. That's a great start for the Tigers.
For Ballantyne, touchdown number 9 on the season. Extra point try coming up here for DePauw. So 3 minutes, 17 seconds off the clock. Extra point try is up and good. Tigers 7, Little Giants get the ball when we come back to Crawfordsville. It's 129th Monon Bell Classic. You're watching on ISC.
It amazes me that our student athletes can play huge roles on our teams, but can also hold major offices on campus, travel abroad, land internships, and ultimately go straight into unbelievable careers and opportunities.
Student athletes love their DePauw experience because they can be a student, studying abroad, participating in internships, clubs, and organizations, and still win conference championships and pursue national championships. At DePauw, you don't have to choose. You just have to follow your dreams.
DePauw University, where tradition meets excellence. Our scholar athletes reach for academic success while fueled by a passion for greatness and competition. It's here that history is made and innovation achieved. Their stripes are never given, they are earned. Tiger pride runs deep in the black and gold with faculty who receive international recognition. We also crown national champions and battle it out for the Monon Bell. Our award-winning students and alumni embody ingenuity and grit. Be a part of something bigger and roar with pride.
Back in Crawfordsville, again, Greg Rakestraw, Steve Hoffman, Brad Wochomurka, Kelsie Kasper will check in throughout the game from the sidelines as well. In our third year, bringing you this Monon Bell broadcast, the ISC Sports Network. I've got people checking in from Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Lafayette, Houston, Texas. I'm sure the international shout-outs will start at some point in time as well. Thanks for joining us at ISCSportsNetwork.com, our YouTube, Twitter accounts, and all the regular places you DePauw and Wabash fans are used to watching your team. You see the scoring drive for the Tigers. 8 plays and 75 yards. Cathedral graduate Ben Gomez, one of 9 Cathedral players on this DePauw roster. Blast this from the end zone, and normally Wabash will give the automatic touchback regardless of the fair catch, but don't worry about that one. So now we'll see Liam Thompson take the field, and for as good as Liam has been throwing the football this year for Wabash, he's also, Steve, been their leading rusher so far this season.
Yeah, Liam will surprise people with their legs, at least early in his career. Now, by this time, people can see what he can do. They don't like him with the ball a lot, but if it's there, they do want him with the ball in his hands, running the ball. Just don't want him to take those hits and those shots. But, with this game, you're going to do it. This is the last game of the year.
There's no more games after this, Stevie. That might be scary.
Campbell out of the backfield. Thompson, pump and go. Deep ball. Has a man, overthrows him. Derek Allen. We mentioned Jalen Smith, the big play target for DePauw. Allen is that guy for Wabash. Just kind of flattened his route out there a little bit, and Thompson overthrows him.
Well, interesting. Those are the kind of throws last year early in the game we saw that weren't connecting. You have somebody with a step or two on the defender, and we just weren't making those throws. Allen, they think the DePauw defense is going to put a lot of guys or a lot of attention on Allen. Might open it up for the Penn Stolers of the world.
Well, Penn Stoller, a fantastic target as well. And again, running against that DePauw defense, good luck. They are third in Division III in terms of yards allowed rushing per game at 46 a contest. 46 like the Monsters of the Midway in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
1 yard there, 3rd and 9.
Greg, I think they had, one game negative 26, one game negative. I didn't know you could hold a team to negative 42 yards rushing if it wasn't on an Xbox. That's very surprising.
So 3rd down and 9. And the setback lined up next to Liam Thompson is Cade Campbell. Little draw play here for Campbell. Campbell finds a seam. Campbell has a first down. Huge 3rd and 9. Pickup by Wabash. He stepped out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Gain of 20. First down, Little Giants.
And we're going to see 3 backs running in and out for Wabash today between Xavier Tyler, Donovan Snyder, and Cade Campbell. Cade is a lot faster than he looks. He's not a tall guy, as you can see, but he's got some wheels and people get some bad angles on him. So going to see a lot of fresh legs in there from Coach Morrell's offense.
And that first play that didn't hit the deep shot was a little bit of misdirection. That's how you take advantage of an aggressive defense and plays like that, and it worked there.
So 1st and 10 for the Little Giants. Stacked box for DePauw. Thompson has deflected and nearly intercepted. Believe the player that got his hands on it for DePauw was David Gould. This is a defense that returns entirely intact for DePauw from a season ago.
Yeah, this is just a really nice play. 2 defensive linemen right there getting hands, and Good almost able to make an amazing one-handed interception. So nice play by the D-line of the Tigers.
David Gould, another one of those Cathedral Fighting Irish players for DePauw. You mentioned Brevin Good, a senior from Avon High School. That is a dynamic duo for sure. Thompson throws in the flat. Catch made. Turning upfield. Cooper Sullivan, already a record holder at Wabash, moves the chains yet again.
Last week, Cooper Sullivan, been a 4-year starter coming up here from Florida, and he broke the Wabash career receiving yards record held by Mike Funk a long time ago in 1989 last week. So Cooper's had quite a career, and having him and Liam together in the same class for 4 years has been special.
My partner, or one of them, just said, this has the feelings of 42-35. It's looking that way so far. Here comes Campbell on the cutback, first down. Taken down after a gain of 12 yards, and Wabash now on the march.
Yeah, went to a football game and a track meet broke out, right? I mean, that's the way it's looking right now. And, you know, both teams want to run the ball and then stop the run, so really keep an eye on that. So if Wabash can continue running the ball like this, it'll really help open it up for the Derek Allens, Connor Thompsons, and Cooper Sullivans.
Campbell picked up 13 yards, and I know, Steve, that despite DePauw's success against the run, Don Morrell felt his team could run the ball today because of their athletes in the backfield and the guys they have up front.
He did, and he thought we could do it out of 12 personnel, meaning a single back and 2 tight ends. We haven't seen a lot of that yet, but he did think that.
You reference Xavier Tyler again. He is the third back simply in how he is listed, but he is very much a talented running back. 329 yards rushing in limited snaps and 7 touchdowns for Xavier this year.
Xavier has really started coming to his own this year, getting a little bit more and more snaps, and, you know, he's going to be getting that more with both Donovan and Cade graduating after this year, but Xavier's really shown some nice things for a youngster.
What's the adjustment here, Brad, defensively for DePauw?
Not allow yards. No, I'm just kidding. I think, but honestly, the pass has set up the run really well. Some good route combinations. That last pass we saw to Sullivan was a really nice combo. I mean, at this point, see what pressure you can get if you can get some pressure on Thompson.
Already midway through the opening quarter. Thompson feels pressure, has a lane, slings it instead. Catch made, Allen. First down, Wabash at the 9-yard line. First and goal for the Little Giants.
Vintage Liam Thompson right there, like using his legs to get out in the open and then using that quick arm release and arm strength to get it out there. Those type of things will drive defenses nuts. As a quarterback comes out and someone has to come up, he throws right in behind you.
Derek Allen, 60th catch of the season. He's got 12 touchdowns as well. Derek, a senior from Warren Central High School. So first and goal, 9-yard line. Take the handoff, fullback lead for Thompson, and Thompson gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Jonathan Bruder, we'll call his name a lot, makes the tackle for the Tigers on that play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good stop by DePauw. I like that play call, though, because now DePauw's defense has to think about the threat of Thompson on the ground, especially designed runs like that. So it's just something else you put in the mind of that DePauw defense. It's guessing a little bit right now.
So Wabash trying to answer a 75-yard scoring drive with one of their own. Wabash has played uphill each of the last 2 years in this game. Thompson will look to run. Thompson upended 5-yard line. Ball popped free. They're going to say he was down first. Yes, immediately pointing down on the contact. So third down and goal from the 5-yard line. Steve, what's your play call here? Third and goal, 5 yards away.
I think it's going to be some type of RPO to see what kind of defense they're in here. But, you know, if you're DePauw's defense, you're happy about that last play. He got some yards, but whenever you get him outside and nothing big happens, I think that's a win for the DePauw defense.
The follow-up question is if they don't get it here. You thinking about going forward on fourth down?
I'd hate to waste a trip down here without points. I think with they're within 2, you know, we don't call Coach Morrell the riverboat gambler for nothing, though. I mean, he always has something up his sleeve.
He's got trick plays, playing a little option football. Campbell cuts inside. Fantastic block by Allen, the wide receiver. Touchdown, Little Giants, and here we go. Touchdowns for both teams on the opening drive.
Yeah, it was a great play call. Nice block by Allen, like you said, Greg. And, you know, that's the threat of Thompson on the ground. DePauw had to recognize that and be honest with it, and then a little foot Campbell for the touchdown.
Did I say we were going to run a run-pass option? What I really meant to say was we're going to run the option.
Right.
So I did get that right. I want to be clear.
That's what you were going for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Rucker is on for the extra point. Touchdown for touchdown. 7-7. We expected nothing less in this one. We're back in 60 seconds. It's the Monon Bell Classic on ISC.
A Wabash man, if we do our job right, it's the guy who doesn't check any one box.
I think it gives the students a large toolkit to be able to problem solve.
It's a place where young men can grow up and learn the skills necessary to go out and have an impact on the world after they graduate.
1, 2, 3.
One of the great gifts that I got at Wabash was not a specialized skill set that was going to be applicable in my first job out of college, but it was really a commitment to working in groups, lifelong learning, and just a passion for life in general.
There is such a rich tradition of success and accomplishment here. When you think about all of the things that Wabash men go and do after they graduate, why would you not want to be a part of that?
We want to take this moment to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Simply put, we value this game. This is one of the highlights of our schedule every year. This is, frankly, in the top 2 of single productions that we do every year. So thank you to Jordan Shue and Sean Walker and J.D. Arlen and Rob Lynch and Buzz and Eldon. And there's so many folks behind the scenes. We could name them all in this broadcast, but we take pride in this rivalry the way that you take pride in this rivalry watching it. We appreciate you being with us on this Saturday.
Number 11, Caden Whitehead.
So back-to-back touchbacks on kickoffs after back-to-back touchdowns as we are tied at 7 apiece.
Also deep is number 22.
How about that look? We added the drone coverage in this year.
It looks a lot better than it did with snow.
Rucker goes with the short kick. Fielded by the Tigers and a fair catch signaled for. They'll start this drive at the 25-yard. Let's get it to Kelsie Kasper, the sidelines. Kelsie, what do you have for us?
Well, head coach John Morrell calls him the Taylor Swift of Wabash College. He's referring to his 4-year starting quarterback in Liam Thompson, who he says is just the total package. And Greg, I'm sure you have listed his records and his accomplishments on the field, but it's really what he does off the field that makes him special. In his limited free time, you can find Liam Thompson giving tours of Wabash College around campus. Coach told me he doesn't even know how many tours he's given, 300, maybe even 400, and doesn't know how many students have strictly come to Wabash based on the tour that Thompson has given them. So based on his extracurriculars, his success in the classroom, and his work ethic, he is a special player for this Wabash program. So I asked Coach, is he one of the best to ever wear a Wabash jersey? And he says 100% he's in that conversation.
Handoff goes to Caden Whitehead. Kelsie, thank you very much. Whitehead from Park Tudor School on the north side of Indianapolis. Again, he and Baumgartner will rotate. Caden picks up 4 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice run just to get some yards on first down. And again, I think a key, Steve, you mentioned it too, that Wabash is going to have to get some pressure on McCahill when he's back in that pocket. There was none on that first drive, and DePauw went right down the field. So we'll see if they change anything up to get some pressure on him now.
I'll ask you that question about Liam Thompson, one of the best to ever play here at Wabash College.
Yes. No hesitation on that answer.
2nd down and 5. And H-back will lead the way. Whitehead again finds that seam, and where he dives, that should be good enough to move the chains. Another first down for DePauw.
Yeah, we saw it with Wabash on the first drive. You mentioned a couple times, Greg, but you can have multiple guys that run the ball in your offense. It's such a help, not only to keep things fresh, but offer a little bit of different look, different skill set. So Whitehead giving Baumgartner a nice breather here and so showing how productive he can be.
Emmons, Smith, Watkins, Martin, Hoffman, the fellas up front. Smith, the undersized fellow of the group at 260. A couple of 300-pounders in that group for DePauw as well.
Well, he's only a freshman, so let's check back in a few years.
They call him tiny.
Quick hitter. McCahill on the seam route. That's Quigley. Quigley past the 50-yard line, first down again. Quigley played a little quarterback at Carmel, played some tight end at Carmel. He will run the ball in goal line situations as well, run some wildcat. They'll find a way to get him the ball. Will Brett Dietzen come?
And that was great patience by McCahill. He waited for the linebacker to choose to go out and cover the outside receiver in the flat, and that left Quigley open over the seam with that quick slant.
McCahill 5 for 6 to start the game for 75 yards passing. This might be a game where one stop wins it. At least that's the way it's feeling here in the early going. These two teams both in the top 20 of Division III offenses.
Handoff to number 11.
On the handoff, it's Whitehead, and he'll be just shy of the first down. He'll pick up 8. So again, defensive adjustment coming here for Wabash. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I think going back to your first stop wins it. I think it comes down to an offense not making a mistake as well, or let's say a defense not forcing a mistake, or even a tip pass like we saw earlier. One of Liam's passes could have easily been picked off because it was tipped. Something like that can happen to stall a drive. We got to find a way, Wabash does, to get pressure on McHale.
Again, Whitehead, and this time he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. He might get a yard. Wabash had some penetration in that backfield. Getting back there for the Little Giants. Gavin Rupert helped to make the play.
Yeah, that looked like it might be 3rd and 5, and Whitehead did a nice job of sidestepping that tackle in the backfield and at least getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Rupert, a sophomore from Greenwood. 65 tackles on the season. Potential 4-down territory here on 3rd down and short. Baumgartner back in for the short yardage effort. And Baumgartner hits, but getting yards after the contact. 1st down. Brock Robertson got there, but Baumgartner had enough momentum to move the chains.
Well, the Gus bus just keeps on rolling. It looked like he was stuck about a half yard short, but using that body to stretch and fall across the marker. That's why he is one of the best backs in Division III.
Patent pending or trademark on the Gus bus, by the way?
I guess it depends on how many stops it makes the rest of the game. We'll see.
He didn't get stopped very much last year in this game with 155 yards rushing. So ball at the 39-yard line. Flag flies. Baumgartner only got a yard, and I think this is going to be a formational penalty. Or is it against
offside?
Offside against Wabash. Again, our referee is Pete Hampton. First flag of the game.
Offside. Defense, number 43. 5-yard penalty. Down remains first.
Owen Volk just a little excited on that play. 1st and 5. Volk, the guy that we'll talk about a lot. 19 tackles this year, 4.5 tackles for loss for the junior. Owen from Roncalli High School. Some of the volunteer officials from Wabash didn't agree with that call, but that's hence the nature of the rivalry. Baumgartner. Nope. McCahill throws it. It's intercepted. Great read by Wabash. Picked off. Just McCahill's 5th of the season. Returned back to the 40-yard line and give that play to Mike Holsclaw. Look at the interception.
Well, we were just talking about one of the stops you can get is a big play, and hey, let's see how the teams respond here. I tell you what, I thought he had Smith, wide open. I thought he just underthrew it. I'd like to see the replay here.
Well, I think you're right, Steve. He was open, and he just underthrew the ball a little bit, made for an easy interception, but great coverage, great patience by Wabash.
So Holsclaw gets the pick. Young man from Lafayette Jefferson. And there's that first stop that you're looking for in this football game.
Well, it's about getting those in this game, but it's also about how both sides react to that. Like, it's really important if you're DePauw that you handle that the right way and don't panic, and that Wabash takes advantage.
On the handoff, and again, you'll see multiple backs for each of these two teams. That is Donovan Snyder that has kind of fought through some concussion issues at times this year.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's a fighter, and he runs the same way as his personality, right? He's just going to get the yards. There's no 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore in the fields they play on. But, that's the kind of runner he is.
Snyder from Mishawaka High School. Again, he is a senior. This is his last Bell game. Thompson, rolling pocket in the flat, finds his man. That is Snyder out of the backfield. He'll be just shy of the 1st down marker, a pickup of 4 yards.
And you can see the Wabash offense really kind of keeping this stout DePauw defense off balance a little bit with being able to run the ball successfully enough, like Coach Morrell thought we could against this tough defense, and then running some play action off of it and getting Liam outside the pocket a little bit.
Enrique Ruiz will come in as an extra blocker on this play for Wabash. He wears 2 different numbers, 64 when he is a lineman, 41 when he is a tight end, and you can see at the end of the formation he is eligible here. Play clock at 2, got it off just in time. Counter play to Thompson, and Thompson has the 1st down. Just needed across the 50, did exactly that. 1st down, Little Giants.
Really an interesting formation there. You had a tight end and a tight slot down here and 3 wide trips up top, and then using Liam to run to the tough side with the empty backfield. So really trying to take advantage of Liam's legs there, and it worked out.
Nolan Tully made the tackle for DePauw, but not before Thompson picked up 4 yards. And again, Thompson is Wabash's leading rusher this season. This is the most yards he's had rushing in one of his 4 seasons being the Wabash starter. Free play. Thompson looking for the downs. Slings it. Sullivan was the target. some contact there, but not enough. But again, only 5 yards offside against DePauw.
Yeah, they've got DePauw guessing right now, so that was a great time to use that kind of hard count and try to get that free play. And what could have been even more dangerous, to throw a ball up like that, potentially pass interference. So good job by DePauw not to pick up a second
Offside.
flag. Wabash has them guessing
number
right
52,
now.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains first.
Ethan Lowry was the guilty party on the offside call. And it's been a very limited penalty game so far. This is what you expect when you have two teams that have combined for 16 wins coming in. Only 3 other times in the history of this rivalry have teams had more wins combined than they have this year. And simply part of that is Wabash scheduling up and playing a game at Butler back in September. Little double reverse flea flicker. We knew one was coming. Thompson throws, looking for the end zone, and overthrows not just his target, but his brother in Connor Thompson. And Connor couldn't get there in time. Second down.
Well, and I think Cortez Stoudemire did a great job in coverage by DePauw. Didn't really bite on that, so Liam Thompson didn't have much of a throw to make. Just had to really throw it out and hope that the receiver could run under it.
But there is a flag on the play.
Holding. Defense number 6. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And Thompson knew he had that one in his pocket, didn't he?
Yeah, when I looked downfield, when the flea flickers see who they had run, I saw a grab there to slow him out by a step or two.
And of course, not only is Steve our analyst, he's also our Mike Pereira, our Dean Blandino of the crew, because last night he was the lead referee on a fantastic game between Hamilton Southeastern and Westfield.
Fantastic game, great atmosphere at Westfield, just a lot of fun to be out there.
One where Brad Wochomurka was an interested spectator at that game.
Yeah, go Rocks, nice win.
Handoff goes to Campbell, another flag flies in. Campbell limited to 1 yard, but again, let's see. Illegal procedure going to be called against Wabash College.
I was thinking early on how clean this game had been through the first 2 possessions, and now a lot of laundry on the field.
Illegal formation on the offense, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Down remains second.
Yeah, that's a receiver lining up off the ball when he's supposed to be on the ball.
First down, by the way, not second.
That penalty is 5 yards from the previous
So
spot.
first and 15.
To the 39. Wabash first and 15.
Wabash trying to defend home turf for the second time in 3 years. Thompson, quarterback draw. Great lead block. Thompson runs around the umpire, headed for the end zone. Taken down at the 5-yard line. And think about the run that Thompson had in this game. Went down 21-0 2 years ago. Thompson fires at the troops yet again.
You know, what's interesting here, we haven't seen as much this year, but this is a bell game, right? Our called runs for Liam. We've been letting him get out on some RPOs, but you can see these are designed for Liam to get outside.
You save everything for this game, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing, you know, you try to protect your quarterback to be healthy all year, but let's use his legs and let's get him some openings. And that's tough to do when there's nobody else, when there's an empty backfield and the defense is spread out a little bit.
Sullivan is the lone receiver in this formation. Tyler, the ball carrier. Jump cut, dives, and will be taken down at the 1-yard line. Wabash can elect to let this run to the quarter break if they so choose. And it appears that's exactly what they will do. Well, Wabash and DePauw tied at 7 after 50 minutes. However, they're a yard away from taking the lead when we start quarter number 2. Back in a moment. It is 129 Monon Bell Classic, and you're watching on ISC.
We are tied at 7 points apiece.
This year, DePauw University proudly celebrates the best of the best. 6 remarkable alumni and a national championship team will join the prestigious DePauw Athletics Hall of Fame. They've excelled in soccer, baseball, basketball, swimming and diving, and music, leaving a lasting legacy as Tigers. It's through their passion, dedication, and Tiger pride that we are honored to forever etch their names into the history books as part of our Athletics Hall of Fame. Their commitment to excellence and success is what the black and gold is all about. We are Team DePauw.
Our students have a gold standard academic experience, driven by faculty who know and care about each one of them, nurturing their individuality, curiosity, and talent.
I think at DePauw you will be forced out of your comfort zone You will be encouraged to succeed both in and out of the classroom. You will be given the tools to succeed beyond your career at DePauw. And that's what makes DePauw an excellent academic institution.
Quick check of the numbers from half number one. Liam Thompson, 3 for 5 for 32 yards passing. By the way, that ties him currently. It's literally his next passing yard. He'll become the all-time leading passer in the history of the NCAC. The man he would pass is here today. This is on the staff of DePauw. It's Mason Espinoza, who played at Ohio Wesleyan. Nathan McCahill, 5 of 7, 75 yards. But the story for Wabash, 11 carries, 92 yards. Looking for one more. They'll get it. Touchdown, Little Giants. They go touchdown on their first 2 drives of the game.
Well, just what the doctor ordered. You know, you get a stop on defense and then go right down the field. So neither team has been stopped other than that turnover. We haven't seen a punt yet, but Wabash responding exactly what they needed to, and an easy run in there for Xavier Tyler. It's doing what Coach Morrell said the Wabash team needed to do and run the football, and so far the Little Giants have been successful on the ground.
Tyler from Memorial High School in Evansville. So extra point try coming up on here for Rucker. And no problem on that whatsoever. So 14-7, Wabash is in front. We'll keep it right here with 14:57 left to go in quarter number 2. Brad, what's going through the Tigers' minds right now?
Well, probably we've already allowed twice as many yards on the ground in a quarter as we do all game. And I think, Steve, you mentioned it, that Don Morrell and the Little Giants thought they could run on this defense. Well, they thought right so far, and that's what's scary because Liam Thompson hasn't even unleashed that arm yet. But, you save everything for the Bell game. They're designing runs for them. They're really keeping DePauw's defense on their heels. Now, if you're DePauw on offense, hey, you've moved the ball once down the field for a touchdown. You were moving the ball again, had maybe a touchdown on the play that got picked off. So one bad mistake, but they know that they can move this ball as well. So if they can come back out, stay fired up, move the ball, they should be just fine.
Yeah, McHale will need to respond in a positive way for the DePauw offense to stay successful after that pick as he gets that out of his head.
Quick shot of Brett Dietz on your shot. What a job he has done, starting 29-5 as the head coach at DePauw University. They have won 9 games in each of the last 3 seasons. And a win today would give them the first 10-win season in DePauw's storied history.
Yeah, that's really incredible to think about it. It's not easy to win 10 games when you've played football this long at a pretty good level. It's hard to believe they've not won 10, but would love to see that for the first time here this afternoon.
Short kick. Fair catch called for at the 25-yard line. Wabash, a team that rarely returns kicks. There's almost a safety issue, a numbers issue for Don Morrell. DePauw is the opposite. DePauw has some significant talent in terms of the kick return game that could be a factor, which is why you see that short kick from Wabash.
Yeah, I mean, some of those, too, you got to look up. A bit surprising. Thought maybe he could have got some yards there, but hey, you want to be safe. It's a guy that's not maybe normally used to catching the ball, so you take the fair catch, you get the ball on the 25, and you get your good quarterback on offense out there.
And I tell you who DePauw has, and Coach Morrell talked very highly of him, is Caden Whitehead. Said he's a great returner, and they don't want the ball in his hand, so you can see it on the kickoff there.
Speaking of Whitehead, little flare pass. We saw this to Baumgartner earlier. Wabash has this one covered well, yet still a 5-yard gain. Looked like it'd be for a yard or two maybe, and he picks up 5.
Yeah, that's why DePauw wants the ball in his hands, like Steve, you were just talking about on the kick return. Again, second time we've seen this little kind of flare out, technically a rush, I think, here as they throw it behind, throw the ball backwards, and a nice run by Whitehead on first down.
And there's a missed tackle right there, which defensive coordinator Mike Riding said we have to tackle well to win this game.
So second down and 5. On the draw, it's Whitehead, and again, just kind of slithers forward and dives. He'll be a yard shy of the first down marker. It's a gain of 4. So far, Baumgartner and Whitehead have combined for 40 yards rushing on 9 carries.
Both of them have done a really nice job of kind of picking up an extra yard or two. You think they're hit and kind of slithering through or diving across to get some extra yards. Now you've got a really, really big third down right here. I'm not sure DePauw goes for this on 4th if they don't get it here.
It's Baumgartner back in there. He'll get the handoff, and Baumgartner again. Wabash doing a great job at getting defenders back there. It's just yards after contact for DePauw. Baumgartner picks up 2.
Yeah, 3 tough plays there to get the first down, and a couple of them to Whitehead, and you can see him making people miss. So I think with Wabash's defense the way they've been, I think this is okay. You just don't want to give up the big shots, as Coach Riding said. I want to limit their running, which I think Wabash has been doing so far. But again, there's been no stop from the Wabash side either, other than the interception.
Both teams with 7 first downs so far. Handoff Baumgartner, and the hole that was there closed quickly. Baumgartner limited to a gain of 2 yards, and again, he'll rotate out. Whitehead will come back in. Again, let's point out, 223 yards rushing last year in this game for DePauw. And clearly, Brett Dietz has his sights set on a similar number this time around.
Yeah, and one of the unique things, though, and you don't see this all that often in college football anymore, is the quarterback is not really a threat to run. So you kind of know what you're getting, either hand off to a back or it's going to be a pass.
Cahill will do the latter this time. Not there. Fires. Valentine, did he stay in bounds? Yes. He got a foot down after the contact. First down, DePauw.
Still talking about this. That
didn't look
really
close.
Yeah,
I thought it looked like he was easily out. But hey,
I did too, Steve.
We're about 70 yards away, so.
So he'll pick up the first down, give him a gain of 9 on the play, and we'll get a great look from this end zone camera angle. Did he get a foot down? It's Robertson that helped push him out of bounds. And I think he may have just been out of bounds. Close. Yeah. But again, we have that luxury. Our officials in the field do not. Here's Quigley. Again, he's been the big play player. Breaks a tackle. Quigley off to the races. Touchdown, DePauw. No flags on the field.
Well, there is now. I think they got him for a celebration at the end. You know what? I don't know if I agree with this. It's a big game. He didn't look back at the defender at all, but you still got to be smart. More importantly, though, what a play by Quigley. Shows the athleticism. Again, that's just a simple, quick hitch route, and he's able to take that to the house and use that breakaway speed. That's a huge response for DePauw to get back on the scoreboard.
Well, I'm talking about tackles, right? There's your missed tackle, 1, maybe 2, but right here you had an open person, and then Joe Rios just missing from behind. But
you're the official, Steve. This doesn't seem like much.
No, that really surprises me.
That's not much.
No.
If he turns and looks at the guy.
Right. There was no taunt.
During the run, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 13 of the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Down will be first.
So that wipes up the touchdown. It's not a score. That's not an after the play penalty.
That is right. In college, it is like that. Yeah, so that's a surprise.
That's a bad call. Now you wipe a touchdown off. He didn't look at the defender. It really wasn't that egregious. We're talking about a big game, very emotional. Brett Dietz is going to be fired up at the refs. He's going to be fired up at Quigley too. You got to be smart. You can't leave it to chance. But that's a tough one to take.
So from where the celebration started at the 5, you back it up 15 yards. First and 10 DePauw at the 20.
Yeah, what a big call.
Handoff goes to Whitehead. And Whitehead, good job after contact. Clearly, he's a star of the future for the Tigers. He picks up 5.
Yeah, again, him and Baumgartner just a couple of yards after contact or stretching, finding a way to keep the ball moving upfield. This is a big moment for DePauw. I mean, that's a pretty deflating call. Let's see how the Tigers can respond here and see if they can stick it back in the end zone.
Boy, Whitehead's going to be a tough guy as a Wabash fan to watch for the next 3 years. He's a runner.
McCahill. Now he will tuck it and run. Gets a great block. McCahill scores. No flags this time. This one will stand. Touchdown, Tigers.
And like I said just a few minutes ago, really not a threat to run is Nathan McCahill. Well, that's why I'm not coaching DePauw. That's a nice play. That's just good recognition by the quarterback, though. And nice job by DePauw after what could have been was a deflating penalty to come right back 2 plays later in the end zone. And yes, Steve, that track meet, it's on.
And that was a called quarterback draw right there for McCahill. Like you said, not expecting. You can see Whitehead coming out and blocking right away. Good call.
So Tigers on to kick the ball away. Matthew Berry on for the extra point try. A couple of different kickers have been used this year for the Tigers. Berry gets it up and good. And the track meet continues. 14-all early second quarter. We're back in 60 seconds. You're watching the Monon Bell Classic on ISC.
I think what is so profound about Wabash is that no matter who our students are, we provide them with the challenge and the support to exceed their potential.
We want any young man who really wants to come to Wabash College to be able to do so.
It's a brotherhood, and that's definitely true, and you want to help your brother.
I wanted to help in any way that I could for the college to have a sustainable endowment and to have the ability to offer young men from all walks of life the opportunity to come to the college.
Education changes lives, and educated people can make a real difference in the world. I feel very proud of the work that we've done so that Wabash can continue to turn out these gentlemen who go on to careers and life and take with them the values that they've learned here.
So these two teams are tied. 3 possessions for DePauw, 2 for Wabash. 1 possession and an interception. Every other one has ended at pay dirt. Gomez on to kick this ball away for the Tigers. 8-play, 75-yard drive, second of the game for DePauw. Gomez's kick. And will this one stay in bounds? Yes. By the laces of the football, just tucked inside the pylon. Touchback, DePauw. Let's go to the sidelines and Kelsie Kasper.
Well, guys, DePauw is obviously a perfect 9-0 coming into this game, but talking with Coach Dietz before this game, he says one of his biggest fears this season was this team not facing much adversity, especially coming into this game, but they saw that adversity in their overtime win versus Wittenberg. They were down by 14 going into that fourth quarter, and Nathan McCahill threw 2 picks in the first half of that game, but he says he loves the way his team responded in that game. They showed a ton of grit, and McCahill was perfect in the fourth quarter, so they're going to use what they learned in that Wittenberg game here today.
Kelsie, thank you very much. Taking the handoff, it's Thompson, and Thompson tripped up, but again, picks up 6, if not 7 yards. Second and short coming up for Wabash.
He may have lost control of that ball a little bit. It looked like people were kind of scrambling as if there was a little bit of a fumble there, but again, another play call for Liam. I mean, letting it all hang out today, and Liam with the leading rusher again for Wabash, as he's showing all year. 5
carries, 50 yards for Thompson. By the way, Quinn Scholler, Mark Castor, Joe Mullen, Cameron Ford, Cannon Kelly. That's the 5-pack up front. The sidewinder throw finds Sullivan, channeling Patrick Mahomes, maybe even Kent TeColvey. Thompson picks up 8 yards, first down Wabash.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that Kent TeColvey reference.
We have a player down. It is Nolan Tully. It is the injured player for DePauw.
You know, and that time empty backfield around Thompson. And Steve, we saw earlier the penalty for, having too many men in the backfield. We've seen a lot of different formations from this Wabash team already this afternoon. You see these guys on a regular basis. That might be normal, or is this also a little bit of Don Morrell saying, hey, let's pull out all the stops, some new plays, new formations for the Monon Bell Game?
No, it's kind of been their MO all year, just to come out in a lot of different looks and see what how the defenses are going to line up. I think what showed off there was Liam's quick release on that pass. It wasn't very far, but boy, when he makes a decision, he gets rid of it so quickly. That has really improved over his 4 years here.
By the way, that sidearm sling, that's the record breaker. He is now the all-time leading passer in the 40-year history of the North Coast Athletic Conference. Thompson trying to avoid pressure and will pick up positive yardage. Could be a first down. Makes a wise business decision, and love the sportsmanship. He and Brevin Good both tap each other on the top of the helmet. First down Wabash.
Yeah, that's the way Liam is when he's out on the field. And I'm glad his record was broke with a complete pass to Cooper Sullivan, who they've been attached at the hip for 4 years. But that play right there will drive defenses nuts. And, when Wabash defense goes against a quarterback like Liam, you get them bottled in, you think you got them in the pocket, and next thing you know, they're running for a first down. It'll just demoralize the defense.
So Thompson picks up 14 yards, and again, this is a DePauw defense that has allowed an average of 12 points a game. Wabash obviously has topped that. Snyder plows forward. A series of Tigers on to make the play. Dominic Siebel amongst those on to make the tackle. Second down.
You wanted to say a pride of Tigers on to make the play, Greg. I know you were waiting to do that.
now I can't. Thank you.
Taking it away from him, Steve.
I was waiting for the third quarter, Steve.
These handoffs to a back at this point for Wabash, it's almost like it's a chance to give Liam Thompson and the receivers a little bit of a breather. For DePauw, that's the best defense they've got right now, is just a 3 or 4 yard handoff to the back because Thompson's killing them with his legs.
Snyder, second carry, totaling 6 yards. Handoff to Snyder. Goes around the left side of his offensive line, keeps the legs driving. First down, Wabash, their 10th of the game, as he'll take it to the 35-yard line.
And there go the chains fans. Yes.
But just really keeping this really good defense off balance with, the running plays, and then Liam with his legs, and then drop back passes going empty. Brad, you asked the question earlier if this is, Wabash's MO, and it is, as far as mixing it up with everything you're going to see, everything out of the bag.
And this DePauw defense, we've referenced just what they have allowed, both rushing yards and points. Wittenberg did put 35 on them in the one truly close game that DePauw had this season just a couple of weeks ago. Handoff Tyler. Tyler a jump cut, and again, it's 4 and 5 yards a touch right now for Wabash running the football.
Yeah, and again, Coach Merrill thought we could do this, and I think people are looking at him like, really? Do you see what they've given up this year on the ground? But he's seen some things, and, it's happening so far in his first half. And interesting to see what adjustments DePauw's defense might make.
So call that a 4-yard pickup. Tyler now 4 carries for 13 yards. Wabash averaging 7.5 yards a carry. 17 for 129 with both touchdowns so far. Thompson, quick hitter and just a bit wide. Allen could not pull it in. And again, if you tell DePauw, hey, you limited Liam Thompson to 40 yards passing the first half, you feel pretty good about it. It's the running attack that's done in DePauw so far.
No, absolutely. Don Morell's just called up the perfect balanced offense right now, and the run's working, so stick with it. And just a rare kind of misfire there from Thompson, looking for his big play receiver in Allen.
Third down coming up. Wabash 3 of 3 on third down so far. That's not surprising. They're second in the country in terms of third down conversions. Just shy of 60% on the year. Thompson buys time, looks, runs, gets it, first down.
And that's Thompson, experienced quarterback. He knows what he's got over there because he had Sullivan on a crossing route. That's his first look to try to get that first down. If it's not there, he knows Sullivan's going to turn upfield, take that defender away. As soon as Sullivan took that defender upfield, you'll see him right here. Turns upfield, right there. Thompson knows it's open to get to the chains.
And he had a game earlier this year that was second in the all-time list for total offense by a player, 490-some yards. But what was amazing about that total offense was 199 of those were him running the ball. Almost 200 yards rushing by a quarterback who also threw for another 300 yards.
Thompson has all day looking and just throws it away.
Yeah, it's really good coverage downfield. Nothing open. And Thompson, who did have a ton of time, able to just throw that one away. Good decision.
Well, if you remember last year, I went back and watched the first half. There were some plays where DePauw rushed 2 and dropped everybody. They're rushing it everywhere from 2 to 6, and that time really laid off a little bit and gave him time, but there's nowhere to go, especially down here on the 20-yard line going in. There's just not a lot of real estate.
And see, maybe we see that as a way to try to contain Thompson on the ground a little bit. That might be part of what DePauw has
spies,
to do.
Yeah, on the second level.
On the counter, Campbell. And nothing there that time. No gain on the play. Once again, Siebel, another one of those many Cathedral Irish players in this DePauw Tiger team, had backfield penetration, and it's third down.
Interesting to see what Wabash wants to do here. You do want to get points, but you don't want to settle for points at this point, but you also don't want to, throw something in the end zone that gets tipped up and intercepted like that. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see Liam getting outside at some point and giving him the option to do some things.
Good job by Matthew Coons to come close down that angle from his cornerback position for DePauw as well. Blitz coming. Wabash picks it up. Crossing route, Allen, but just kind of couldn't keep his stride. Flag down behind the play, and perhaps that blitz pickup. Nope. Going to be a face mask, I believe, or contact to the head against the Wabash offensive line.
And right out of field goal range. But they will also have third down again.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those, I would assume DePauw will take the penalty, but Liam Thompson makes you think, right? You got a fourth and 6 or 7 now?
Yeah, and it's going to be a 15-yarder as a difference from the previous spot.
Yeah, you take that.
Yeah, so that's going to put Wabash back to about the 40-yard line.
And DePauw will take the penalty after some discussion. Again, we'll hear from Pete Hampton momentarily, working his fifth
Personal foul,
Monon Bell
hands
game.
to the face, offense number 77. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, down remains third.
Cameron Ford, the guilty party for Wabash. And both teams, from a field goal standpoint, range to about 40 is where they feel comfortable in terms of their kicking stats on the year.
This is often times where you see some kind of little screen, something like that. Just try to get a chunk back, try to set something up for your kicker. But got to get, another, really another 15 yards, 10 to 15 yards here to get Wabash in field goal position.
Rucker is 7 of 10 on field goals this year for Wabash, but his long is less than 40 yards. And a timeout to be taken by Don Morell and company for
Timeout.
Wabash
Wabash
College.
first charge timeout.
So 6:20 left to go here in quarter number 2. Don Morell on your screen. Steve, let's talk about him. It's an amazing line he's following in terms of coaches at Wabash, whether it's Carlson, Creighton, Rayburn, etc. How has Don become a part of the Wabash College fabric?
Don is just naturally a part of the Wabash College fabric because if you take football out of it, it's the way he coaches young men about life and about their experiences. Like, he will encourage a player to study abroad in the spring semester, even though they will miss spring football. He would encourage those experiences that are beyond football, and he's really all about that. So I think he's embraced here, if not for his wins, for that reason.
Literally, football is a huge part of each of these two schools, but from a percentage standpoint, it's almost like 1 in 7 students at Wabash College plays football. Enrollment around 850 or 900, 125 young men out for football this year.
Yeah, it's a bunch. It tells a lot about the type of program he runs.
Just Thompson on a little single wing footballing, and that's just to make sure you get back in field goal range. He picks up the yardage lost. It's going to be 4th and 10, and field goal team looks like is coming on for Wabash. With that, let's get to Kelsie Kasper. Quick injury update. Kelsie.
Guys, just a bit of an injury update from DePauw. Nolan Truly, the junior DB, went down earlier on this drive. He was able to walk himself out the field, but they were really working on that left shoulder. The trainers all around him looked to be putting something back into place. After that, they were able to take off his jersey. He has not put it back on. He is walking around the sidelines, though.
Kelsie, thank you. So Rucker is on for a 39-yard boot. Distance, not a problem. Accuracy isn't either. First field goal today puts Wabash in front, 17-14.
That was, I think, a really good use of a timeout on that 3rd and 26 by Don Morell, because it gave him a chance to set up a nice play to get chunk yards. For Brett Teach, you can't be happy about. I mean, Thompson just kind of walked through the defense there. You're willing to go 5 or 6 yards, but he got about 12 yards back on that and made it for a much easier field goal. So good use of the timeout by Coach Morell. And I don't know if you're DePauw's defense, if you're, happy, I guess. You slowed the offense down a little bit. Your offense is coming out and they've been moving the ball.
And that play doesn't stand out on the stats, but at the end of the game, we may look back to that play. It's a 17-yard rush that gets Wabash to 3 points. We were well out of field goal range. Everyone's just thinking, let's just put something together to get a few yards. He gets 17 yards on a very good run to get the 3 points that didn't look like very sure to get.
Brody Rucker, and we'll call out so many Indiana natives in this game and where they played their high school football, but Brody would not be of that group. Young man from Haskell, Oklahoma, that has made his way to Crawfordsville, Indiana. You'll have out-of-state kids playing for both of these two schools. Makes his 8th field goal of the season, does Brody. He is a sophomore. And we've seen short kicks from Wabash trying to mitigate the return ability. Players like both Caden Whitehead and Carson Johnson. Daniel Roach back there as well. This one, more of the long kick that goes sideways, and
Free kick goes out of bounds.
maybe a little amped up that time making the field goal was Rucker. So with that, it'll be pretty good starting field position here for DePauw.
The field is 53 1/3 yards wide.
Free kick out of bounds.
Even I can hit
on
that
the
with my
kicking
driver
team.
sometimes.
The ball will be placed at the
I can't, Steve,
35-yard
so.
line.
Good
Sometimes.
And you can't blame the weather conditions because there is basically hardly a cloud in the sky, just a little bit of breeze. Again, temperatures in the upper 40s. Picturesque would be the way to describe this campus and this weather that we have been dealt for today's game. Fake the handoff on the slant. It'll be just shy of the first down marker, and that is Jalen Smith.
14.
And Smith, another guy on this DePauw offense. It's a threat anytime he gets the ball. It's just a quick way to get 7-8 yards on first down. Nice pitch and catch over to Smith.
Smith, a Chicago area kid. That is his third catch of the day. And second and short. Baumgartner back in as the setback on this play. DePauw has all 3 timeouts at their discretion. Baumgartner, first down and more. And again, had a wall to run behind on the left side of that offensive line as he heads it out to the 50-yard line.
That time, good tackling by Wabash. That looked like it had the potential to bounce outside for even more, but DePauw just right back through the air, on the ground. That offense just keeps moving.
Adam Ammons, who lives or grew up, you'd say what, halfway between these two schools? Roachdale, Indiana, North Putnam High School.
That might be the exact halfway point. It's right about there.
Ball exactly the midfield stripe. Wabash walks up a backer. DePauw runs opposite. Solid gain of 3 for the Tigers. And frankly, I would not be surprised if DePauw wants to run the football here, Brad, just to keep the Wabash offense off the field.
Absolutely. 4 minutes to go. Still all 3 timeouts. I mean, right now, I think you're still kind of running your offense, but if you can pick up another first down or 2, you're absolutely right, Greg, because Wabash will get the ball to start the second half, too.
Ball on the Little Giant 47.
Yeah, and one of the things, the reason Don Morrell asked him why he always defers on the kickoff, it's like, why not get our offense out there and do something? He always defers because he likes the idea of getting back-to-back possessions at the end of the first half and into the third quarter.
Handoff Whitehead, and Whitehead tripped up. Good open field tackle. Just a gain of 2 on the play, and again, it's Brock Robertson that makes the play. Brock with 47 tackles coming in.
Hey, he has really come into his own. The coaches love him. He's a different player now than he was early. That's the kind of tackle that Coach Ridings, the defense coordinator, said we need to make to win this game.
A lot of the guys on this field played for Bill Peebles at Cathedral. He played for Terry Peebles at Harrison High School. So 3rd down and 5. 6-man box for Wabash. Smith with a comeback route, and just what a catch. Fought his way through that one. Holskull that had the pick was the man in coverage, and I'm not sure there's anything better the defensive back could have done in that snenario.
No, that's just strong hands by Smith. That ball, that's really the only place I think McCahill could have put that. I mean, perfect coverage. He put it where his receiver at least had a chance, and Smith with the really strong hands, make sure he gets a foot down and bounds. That's a huge first down. That essentially could take the ball out of Wabash's hands the rest of the half.
Wabash can call 2 more timeouts just to try to get the football back. Handoff Whitehead. Finds a seam. And still keeps the legs turning, and that was going to be right around the first down marker. I think they will give it to him, yes. Gain of 10, first down DePauw. And normally the speed guy isn't the power guy. Whitehead showing both.
He did. He showed, I mean, just to get through that initial hole, some great quick moves showing that elusiveness, and then that's just the power at the end to pick up another first down.
Played at Park Tudor School, who unfortunately saw their season come to an end last night with a loss to North Judson in the 1A regionals. Panthers finished 12-1 this past season. So ball at the 26-yard line. They can look for Quigley as he motions off the edge of the formation. Baumgartner in the flat and won't be let go. Tackle made by Cooper Jarvis after a gain of just 1.
McCahill taking the safe route there. It's just really good coverage downfield. You mentioned Quigley coming in motion. I think that was one of the first looks for McCahill. Instead, just flips it out. Nothing dirt on that play. You got plenty of time left and just do something safe.
So 2nd down and 9. Handoff on that jet sweep goes to Quigley, and again, Quigley, they'll just find a way to get him the football. It'll be 3rd and short coming up here.
Just again, that athleticism from Quigley, like you mentioned, Rake, he really is kind of a Swiss Army knife of this offense. We've seen several big plays from him already. Now 3rd and really short for DePauw.
That is Quigley's first carry of the game. Quigley had 19 carries this season. 3 of them have gone for touchdowns. Under a minute to play in the half. It's Quigley again and got caught in the wash. He didn't get there. So now, Brad, let's see exactly how aggressive DePauw is. They won't let the clock run. They can kick a field goal and tie it. Or if you got another 1st down in you, maybe you take the field goal or take the timeout here. And here comes the timeout with 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I was going to be surprised if they didn't call a timeout there to at least think about this one. And you do have to stop the clock. Only 30 seconds left. And, you're out there on the 17-yard line. I'm surprised Quigley didn't get the 1st down as much as we've seen him run the ball after the catch effectively. But you almost like that one. Just go north-south. Maybe not something going, opposite direction that time. Maybe a little bit too cute to try to run the same play again and get the 1st down. So this is going to be a bit, I think if you're Brett Dietz, you're moving the ball. You know you're going to need points against Wabash. You're not going to get the ball back. But not a gimme field goal by any stretch right here. I think you pick a good play, get the 1st down, let the chains move. Maybe you go ahead and call a timeout right away, or you call 2 plays right here. So as the chains move, you're ready for that 2nd one on 1st down.
So ball is at the 17-yard line. Again, a couple of different kickers have been used this year for DePauw. In fact, they've used 3 different kickers at time, have the Tigers. Sullivan and Barry, the top 2. Ben Gomez is certainly capable. He is the all-time record holder at Cathedral in terms of field goals made. But DePauw will go for it here, given the way they have run the ball. They like their chances. Mike Ridings, bench corner, hustles off the field for Wabash. And now Wabash will take a timeout. Timeout Wabash. And look at the formation. Wanted to see it.
Wabash, 2nd charge timeout.
And now that Wabash is down to a timeout, if you're DePauw, do you now bring the field goal unit on?
Yeah, I think you need a yard. I think you go for this. You see what you can do. And like I said earlier, I think you have maybe a 2nd play called. You get ready to run that play, pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they might try to draw Wabash off sides first to get the freebie. But it's certainly been an entertaining 1st half and kind of what we were expecting. Both offenses being able to be successful. Defenses needing to make a stop. Wabash got one at the interception. Other than that, we still haven't seen a punt. And just 2 really good offenses. DePauw's defense is stout, as we know. Wabash defense just improved.
So 4th and a yard. Double tight end set. H back as well. Baumgartner gets it. 1st down. Touchdown.
Or you run that play. How about Gus Baumgartner? How about that big offensive line for DePauw? They needed a yard. How about 17 to the house to regain the lead?
And Gus Baumgartner with that touchdown carry now is tied for 2nd on the career rushing touchdown list at DePauw University.
You saw McCahill put his hands up right away as Baumgartner crossed that line of scrimmage. He knew. Look at this hole. Look at the blocking downfield. Ballantyne, the receiver, on the outside. Smith, the freshman offensive guard. Great blocking all around by the Tigers.
Yeah, you called him out. It was Bennett Smith. Listen, all 5 guys did their job. That extra point is up and through. 21-17, DePauw in front. Quiet on the near side of the field now. Smith, a young man from the Chicagoland area, Park Ridge, Illinois. Can you imagine, and you guys have been there, but what's it like for a freshman to play in this game for the first time?
Oh, I vividly remember what it was like as a freshman stepping out onto the field. I wasn't playing much as a freshman, but just coming out in warm-ups, it's like, I thought I was part of a big rivalry in high school, and I stepped out here, and it's like, this is special. Just the energy, it's palpable.
Now, Brad, you played like every sport at DePauw, so I can't remember if you played football as a freshman or baseball as a freshman. What was that inaugural Monon Bell experience like for you?
That for me I was baseball as a freshman. My inaugural Monon Bell experience was here on this field in about 10-degree weather, going into the locker room down 35-0 at halftime. Now the game did finish 35-7, so I remember winning the second half. That was a great memory, but no, my first Monon Bell memory as a player, not a good one, other than being cold and told, hey, go out on kick return to start the second half after standing on the sideline in that cold weather for about 2 hours.
Just so you know, they don't give you like a mini bell for winning the second half.
No, I'm still waiting for it now.
Fair catch, and again, that's the norm for Wabash. They just don't run back kicks. 28 seconds and 1 timeout, and frankly, if I've got Liam Thompson, Steve, I'm being aggressive here at the end of the half. Again, Wabash does have the ball to begin half number 2. Let's see how Don Morrell plays it with just 28 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I just don't see him kneeling on it. Like you said, to get number 2 behind the center, you just never know.
Hey, hope DePauw doesn't kick themselves for scoring too quick there, right?
Yeah,
in all honesty, you want to score, but 28 seconds and a timeout, anything's dangerous with Liam Thompson.
Well, Wabash has their run formation in there just because Ruiz is in there as an extra blocker. And it will be a handoff to Tyler. And Tyler will run for a first down. And he'll pick up 17 yards. And Wabash will go ahead and burn their last time, even with the clock stopping, on a first down. Wabash will take this timeout with 21.5 seconds left to go.
Wabash, third and final timeout.
Hey, still kind of like that third down run from Thompson on the last series that set up the field goal. You're not, DePauw wasn't playing that far back, really. You hate to give that up on that first play because now Wabash has some options.
And again, Wabash probably about 35 yards away from field goal territory here, and now out of timeouts with 21 seconds before halftime.
Yeah, timeouts is the big story right here on these next few plays, because you can get a first down, stops the clock, you can hustle up and spike it, or you have to get out of bounds at this point. But it's a steep hill to climb to get some points out of this. What you want to do is continue to play within yourself and not do anything silly and get a turnover.
The 41-yard line. 3 snaps, maybe 4 remaining here for the Little Giants. They'll run it here. And if Tyler, still going, Tyler bounces it outside. Tyler knocked out of bounds. That takes 9 seconds off the clock. And you're 1 play away from being in field goal range.
I think Coach Morrell was going to run the ball and see if we can get something, and here we go. But you can see the kind of skills this young man, why they like him so much, the kind of skills he brings onto the field. But
there's going to be some angry DePauw coaches in the locker room at half. This is inexcusable, these last 2 plays, and it really is. They're not back in any kind of deep prevent. It's just great blocking up front and good individual effort. This is bad defense by DePauw these last 2 plays.
DePauw had allowed about 400 yards rushing all year. Wabash has 201 in the first half.
And now it's opened up the playbook for Wabash being down here.
Thompson. Again, he's got to get rid of the football here. Flag goes down. Slings it. Now 5 seconds left. And if that's a hold, that probably takes the field goal out of range. Now you're having one heave and hope to the end zone if you're Wabash.
Deja vu all over again. Last time we were down here and barely in field goal range, got the big penalty and got out of it.
Offense number 62, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains first.
So we got 5 seconds left. Maybe you got time for a quick out, but that is a maybe. It is likely. Throw the ball deep and hope for the best if you're the Little Giants.
Yeah, I think you run your best deep play here, Ray, because even a quick out's not going to get you in field goal range. And you run the risk of maybe something happening and the clock expiring.
DePauw can take a timeout if they feel they need to. They've got 2. I see Coach Deeds kind of standing by one of our officials in case they want to stop him. Here it is. Yep. So timeout called DePauw.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. When you're DePauw, you want to talk to your guys before this last play, tell them what you think Wabash is going to do, heave it into the end zone, how we're going to play
timeout. DePauw, second charge timeout.
So ball is at the 38-yard line. And if you can get out of bounds on maybe a 10 to 12-yard route, then you think about bringing the field goal unit on here if you're Wabash to get back within 1 by halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from both head coaches. We'll also tell you more about both Wabash and DePauw as institutions. And then a couple of special guests will be joining us at halftime as well.
Yeah, 5.4 left. So you're right, Rake, a 10 to 12 yard out, or maybe if Wabash has a play where it's a couple guys, 3 or 4 guys to one side, and you could run a quick screen, try to get a couple blockers, and even get out of bounds. You're looking at the scoreboard too when you're running, so you could run some play like that where you get the ball in someone's hands quickly.
And DePauw is dropping 4 defensive backs in coverage behind the 10-yard line. Thompson going to air it out, barring a penalty. Last play of the half. Jump ball. No, incomplete. In and out of the hands of the Wabash receiver and Allen.
Thompson's pass into the end zone.
Well, that was dangerously close. Wow.
That had shades of Aaron Bailey.
That's what I thought.
Colts fans have to dig up that memory from 28 years ago.
From the reaction of the fans, it was like we had it for an instant. Oh.
Should have had it.
He did.
Hit him right in the chest, actually.
Absolutely should have had a great job by our cameraman Carlos Alcaron down in that end zone to give you that great angle. So it'll be 21-17. DePauw leading Wabash at the break. Brad, quick thoughts about the Tigers having a 4-point lead?
Well, I mean, we expected both offenses to be able to move the ball. Maybe not quite like this. The big concern for the Tigers, you're going to have to stop this rushing attack led by Liam Thompson right now. But DePauw's got to figure out some things defensively to slow down this Wabash rushing attack. Not something we thought we'd say, but hey, after 200-plus yards allowed on the ground to still have a 4-point lead, you got to be happy about that if you're the Tigers.
Let's go to the opposite sideline where Brett Dietz is standing by with Kelsie Kasper.
Coach, this offense was able to score in the final minute that second half. How big was that final drive to have the momentum and lead going into halftime?
That's huge because we were down at that point, and to call play, we relied on our offensive lineman, our senior tailback, and we've been having a lot of those moments this year, and they've been working out for us, so we're going to keep being aggressive.
Wabash scoring on almost every single possession, though, in the first half. What do you want to see defensively in the second?
Our defense is fantastic, and so I trust those guys. I trust our coaches. I trust our players. They're going to get it together. They're going to figure it out here at halftime, and I think we're going to have a great defensive performance in the second half.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Kelsie, thank you very much. Wabash fans, we'll hear from Don Morrell coming up at the end of the halftime show. Again, special guests coming your way in about 4 or 5 minutes, but part of what we do in this tremendous rivalry game, this is a window on 2 wonderful schools in terms of both Wabash College and DePauw. Here is more on DePauw University. Wabash fans, you'll see your school profile coming up in a bit. Halftime, 21-17, DePauw leading the Little Giants.
Within DePauw's name, AU, the chemical symbol for gold, it's been there all along, representing the heart of who we are. Our students have a gold standard academic experience, driven by faculty who know and care about each one of them, nurturing their individuality, curiosity, and talent.
We're taking a holistic approach and integrating the school throughout the learning journey at DePauw so that we can produce highly valued, distinctive education experiences for every student.
The fact that we have a school opening to enhance this existing strength that DePauw has held since its inception is a guarantee that the legacy will continue.
When I think creative school, I'm thinking of traditional fine arts training, right? So we want students to have a broad understanding of a lot of topics. With the new degree programs in music, we will more easily be able to connect students to music and another discipline.
A co-curricular musician is a term that we have used for a student who is not majoring in music. They could be on a sports team as well as be in an ensemble. So they don't have to choose one or the other.
I think at DePauw you will be forced out of your comfort zone. You will be encouraged to succeed both in and out of the classroom. You will be given the tools to succeed beyond your career at DePauw. And that's what makes DePauw an excellent academic institution.
Our alumni have a strong history of wanting to come back and interact with students. And again, I think that ties back to the student experience
I grew up hearing stories from my family about their time and connections made in DePauw. And now I experience the same traditions and atmosphere that they lived through, but in my own way.
DePauw does a great job at getting not only their student athletes, but their entire student body involved in various programs and organizations.
It amazes me that our student athletes can play huge roles on our teams, but can also hold major offices on campus, travel abroad, land internships, and ultimately go straight into unbelievable careers and opportunities.
At DePauw, you don't have to choose. You just have to follow your dreams.
DePauw University is moving forward to a very bright future with the launch of our Bold and Gold 2027 strategic plan, the opening of our new School of Business and Leadership, the planning for the new Creative School, and recentering and strengthening our School of Liberal Arts and Sciences. It is an exciting time to be at DePauw University, and it's always a great time to be a Titan.
The end of that feature for DePauw was the DePauw president ringing that bell. She hopes to do that again at the end of this game. Right now the Tigers are leading 21-17, but obviously nothing is decided yet on an absolutely gorgeous day in Crawfordsville. Back inside the broadcast booth, and Steve Hoffman and Brad Wochomurka will rejoin me in a matter of moments, but I am thrilled to be joined by a distinguished guest and someone that is always welcome back on the campus, that being his alma mater. To my right, it is Archie Manning, or though as we in Indianapolis would call him, Peyton's dad over the course of the last 25 years. And to my left, it is Kevin Clifford, and he is a big part of the driving impetus behind the great facility that you see here at Wabash College. Arch, I'll start with you. We had the pleasure of talking to you 2 years ago in this game. It's great to see you back here. I hope this is now part of your calendar on an annual basis.
Well, I hope so. We had a great time 2 years ago. I was so impressed with everything. I'd heard so much about Wabash, heard so much about the game. Kevin's a great friend. So we brought some more guys this time. We brought some more Southerners up here to see the beautiful campus and this great tradition of game. So glad to be here and glad to be part of it.
Kevin, I know this answer could take up the rest of halftime, but if I say we're being to describe what this place means to you, where do you begin?
You know, it's a special place for me. I can honestly say I wouldn't be sitting here with you, no pun intended, if I had not attended Wabash College. What I love about this place is it takes men who just haven't had a chance. It gives them an opportunity to do things with their lives that I don't think they could have ever imagined. So it's been very meaningful to me and my family, and obviously it's changed my life, and we're trying to change the lives of these young men here too.
Gentlemen, we've had a chance to talk about the wonderful plaudits of Liam Thompson as a football player, now the North Coast Athletic Conference's all-time leader in passing yards. But he is also a finalist for an award that is very meaningful to you, and that is the Campbell Trophy that is presented by the National Football Foundation. Simply put, it is the academic Heisman at all levels of college football. 16 finalists have been announced in the last couple of weeks. 4 of them play outside of the FBS or FCS level, and one of them is Liam Thompson. Arch, why is Liam such a fitting candidate for that award?
Well, he does it the way it's supposed to be done, in the classroom and on the football field. And you wouldn't believe the resumes that we get. Over 200 resumes from colleges all over the country nominating outstanding kids in the classroom and on the field. So Kevin's on our board. I'm chairman of the board, but we're on the committee that has to go through these resumes and try to get this 205 kids down to 16. It's virtually impossible. So many of these kids are working on second, many times a third degree. So it's a wonderful honor for Liam. It's wonderful for Wabash. He's so qualified, and he's just an outstanding young man. Everybody should be really proud of him.
And frankly, Liam has become a family friend of the Mannings. He has worked the Manning Passing Academy the last couple of summers. I know that you kind of helped nudge him this direction towards Wabash College as well.
Well, we did, but he's worthy of this award. We couldn't do anything there. He did. He did it on the field. He did it in the classroom. Well, I don't know what we'll do next summer without him at the Manning Passing Academy, because we've had him for 3 years. We have about 45 college quarterbacks. We have the big boys. We have Ohio State. We have Alabama, but we like to have some small school guys there too. And Liam's been a big part of it. Wonderful young man. love coming up here and being around his family also.
In December, he'll head to the College Football Awards for a chance to be named potentially as the winner of the award, even for being a finalist. He gets an $18,000 postgraduate scholarship. Liam's plan as of now is to attend the Mendoza College of Business up at the University of Notre Dame and potentially add on to his great academic resume at Wabash College. Kevin, what has it been like having this gentleman as a friend and introducing him to the spirit of the Monon Bell Classic?
Well, I think everybody watching this broadcast knows that Archie and Olivia and their boys have changed the face of football. So it's been an absolute delight to get to know Arch and his boys and Olivia. And having them here, having Arch here for this game, it just means the world to all of us at Wabash College.
Wabash College has always been a very special place, and that was the case when it was the old, if you will, Byron P. Hallett Little Giant Stadium. But this place for this level is an absolute palace. And again, you are a big part of the reason why we have this facility that we're able to broadcast from for the second time in 3 years. Why was adding to the experience for football at Wabash College so important for you?
You know, it was fun. A group of my teammates, classmates, we got together and decided it was time to build a first-class facility for Wabash, not just the football team, but the students and the faculty. And what we tried to focus on was to leave a legacy that would allow our student athletes to compete, do well in the classroom, and win. So we're excited to be here. Couldn't have turned out better, and it's great to see Wabash winning, and we got to get a W today.
Kevin, it's great to see you.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
so
you,
much.
my friend.
Archie, always
Thanks,
great
Greg.
to see you. Thanks
Glad
for
to be
joining
here.
us as well. Kevin Clifford, Archie Manning, and again, Liam Thompson, National Football Foundation Campbell Trophy Award finalist, and that announcement will be made in early December as part of the College Football Awards show. And our score at the break, it is DePauw 21 and Wabash 17, and now more for this wonderful campus here in Crawfordsville. Here's a little bit more on Wabash College.
Philanthropy is central to everything we do at Wabash College. It's hard for me to imagine a Wabash College without the generosity of our donors. Giant Steps has allowed us to see a different vision. Giant Steps gives the campus the opportunity to have choices, to make our decisions about what we want Wabash to be, to set our own destiny.
We've always been strong financially, but this is a time to really cement it.
When I first heard the goal would be $200 million, I thought the college has never done anything like this before.
It was a big goal, a big challenge.
But we also felt like we were coming to a real critical point. I've seen the loyalty the alumni base has to this college. I've seen how committed our board is, how committed our administration is to set out to accomplish the goals that we set for ourselves.
I didn't see that there was any way we wouldn't be successful.
Every student here is the recipient of a great gift from Giant Steps. Giant Steps has built new buildings on this campus. It has created countless new scholarship funds. It has generated several new endowed professorships. It has developed entirely new academic programs in PPE and computer science. It has allowed us to endow the immersion course program that touches literally every department on campus.
At the end of the day, it's not the buildings, it's the guys in them and how they do and how they're being prepared to succeed.
We do this because it's our turn to give it back, because someone gave me the opportunity to come here.
How do we continue to deliver that product that we've been delivering for the first 200 years, and we want to continue to do that?
We've stayed true to our mission to educate young men to think critically, act responsibly, lead effectively, and live humanely.
Something magical happens here. These young men come here and they not only get a great education, but they also learn how to be gentlemen.
My job is really to think in the long view and to try to change these young men's lives by expanding their horizons and elevating their expectations for life.
It's a place where young men can grow up and learn the skills necessary to go out and have an impact on the world after they graduate.
I think the importance of the Giant Steps campaign is to ensure that this college is strong so that it continues to serve young men.
When you think about all of the things that Wabash men go and do after they graduate, why would you not want to be a part of that?
As we move to the bicentennial of the college, we just want to make certain that the endowment is secure, sound, and solid. We want to make certain that there's enough funding for the college that we can withstand the perils that might be out there that we haven't even considered. We can move from this campaign, build on this campaign, keep the momentum going. That's my hope.
Again, take a look at some of the drone footage that we have available to us. Thanks to Jeremiah and Sarah from Radbot Productions joining our broadcast crew for this day. Mother Nature has given us a good one. Two great football teams have given us a good one. 21-17 DePauw leading Wabash. Steve Hoffman as well as Brad Wochomurka will rejoin me, Greg Rakestraw, coming up in a matter of moments. Let's run you through some of the stats from half number one. And again, they're as identical as this game has been so far. Total yards, 266 in favor of DePauw, 241 for Wabash. And the teams have gotten there in slightly different measures as you see the graphics pop up on your screen. DePauw 155 passing yards, Nathan McCahill 11 for 13. One of those two interceptions incompletions was interception. Solid rushing numbers for DePauw, which is what you expect from this team. 20 carries for 111 yards for DePauw. I'll get you back on the stat recap, but Don Morell is standing by. Let's not make him wait. Here he is with Kelsie Kasper.
Coach, down by 4 at halftime, but your offense working efficiently, especially in the run game. What did you like about how your team moved the chains in the first half?
Our ability to run the ball at a really good rush defense consistently was good. I think the keys in the second half, we've got to hit some shot plays, and then we've got to play better on defense and stop them.
Down at halftime, but it's a close game. You need to come back to win it. What was your message to your guys in the locker room?
Maintain. Just need to maintain their composure, and we will win the bell.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Kelsie, great job down there. Don, thank you very much. All right, back to talking about stats. Mentioned 20 carries, 111 yards for DePauw. Gus Baumgartner, 9 carries for 49 yards. Caden Whitehead, 8 carries, 39 yards. Baumgartner had a touchdown. McCahill had a touchdown as well. For DePauw receiving the football, Gabe Quigley, 3 catches for 72 yards. Jalen Smith, 3 catches for 40. Robbie Valentine had 3 catches in the opening drive for 37 yards, and one of those went for a touchdown. For Wabash, part of the story is it's not been a huge game for Liam Thompson throwing the ball. 4 for 9 for 40 yards. That does make him the all-time leader in terms of passing yards in the North Coast Athletic Conference's history. They've been playing football in the NCAC now for 40 years. However, Thompson is the leading rusher in this game. 8 carries for 89 yards. Xavier Tyler's been tremendous. The sophomore from Evansville, 6 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Campbell, 5 carries for 38 yards for Cade, plus the TD. Donovan Snyder, 3 carries for 14 yards as well. So Wabash back on the sideline. DePauw just starting to make their way out from the locker room. With that, let's show you our highlights as to how things played out here at half number one. Well, I don't blame our director, Jordan Shue. That's a great looking shot. We're cool to sit on this angle as long as he wants to, because I'm not sure that Little Giant Stadium will ever look better than it has today. Cannot thank our ISC Sports Network crew enough for the absolutely fantastic job that they have done in bringing you this one. 129th Monon Bell Classic. Again, it will be Wabash ball to begin quarter number 3, but first a look back at our first half highlights. McCahill, opening touchdown, drive toss to Robbie Valentine. Make the score 7-0. 8 plays, 75 yards. So Wabash answers. They take it the length of the field. Cade Campbell in one of his 5 carries for 38 yards. That one goes for 6 to make it 7-7. as DePauw was driving on the very next position. Mike Holzclaw with the interception. Return that ball back towards midfield. Wabash would take advantage of the short field. McCahill would answer. This was after the touchdown by Quigley was called back for the celebration penalty. McCahill would score from 15 yards out and reminds the crowd silence is golden. Field goal, good for Wabash and Brody Rucker, his 8th make of the season. Time to celebrate. 17-14 Wabash. But again on 4th and 1 from the 17-yard line. Gus Baumgarten into the end zone for a touchdown. And yes, it's time to dance if you're wearing the black and gold. 21-17. And here is the final play of the half. And as you can see, Derek Allen, who has been the big play receiver for Wabash, he'll tell you he should have caught that. It probably should be 24-21 at the start of the third quarter. It's not, but Wabash will have the football. We threw several sacks at you, or excuse me, several stats at you. A couple of things that I'll point out that we didn't in terms of our halftime graphic. Average yards per play. Now 21-17 probably explains this to you. DePauw, 8.1 yards per play in the first half. Wabash just behind them at 7.8 yards per play. And I mistakenly slipped in sacks instead of stats because I saw the sack graphic. Nada, none for either team, which also means the offensive linemen have been doing their job so far in this game. So Wabash back deep to return, although again, it will likely be a fair catch or a touchback. Wabash, obviously, if it's a one-score game late, would think about returning the kick, but they have been the team that have elected to just basically start their drives at the 25-yard line all season long. Brad Wochomurka, Steve Hoffman to join us momentarily. And Brad, your thoughts on half number one? Expect to see here in half number two.
I mean, more of the same. We've mentioned this has 42-35 written all over, and that really might be the case or something similar. We'll see what defensive adjustments both of these teams made, because someone's going to have to do something on defense, like that one interception we saw for Wabash to turn the tide of this game. Could be a fumble. You know, maybe some pressure on these quarterbacks. We haven't seen a single quarterback sack yet, so something's going to have to change defensively, or these offenses are just going to keep putting up points.
I'm not sure we've seen a quarterback get pressured. I'm not sure we've seen a quarterback get hit, even after a throw.
So Ben Gomez on to kick this ball away, and there is not even enough breeze to mention which direction it's heading right now. Gomez. And a second time today that a kick goes aimlessly left. Again, even the kickers are amped up for a game like this one.
Free kick out
again,
of bounds.
53 1/3 yards wide.
Ball would be placed at the 35-yard line.
Especially when you're kicking to a team that, like we've talked about a lot, pretty much will fair catch everything.
Just get it down there.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to do this because I haven't done it to this point. Today is obviously Veterans Day. So thank you to all that have served. And there is one particular person I'm going to reference, and you went to college with him. But I've got a great friend of mine who is both a Wabash College alum and a veteran. Happy Veterans Day to the Honorable Kurt Eisgruber. Hope he's enjoying the broadcast today.
Kurt Eisgruber, what a good individual.
The all-time good dudes right there.
Yeah.
Handoff goes to Snyder, and not much there. We heard Brett Dietz say that to Kelsie Kasper going in. I feel confident in my defense in half number two. First play so good, no gain.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw DePauw real early, was able to stop the run maybe the first couple of plays, and then Liam Thompson really just turned that on its head. And so Brett Dietz and company made some adjustments. We'll see what those are here quickly.
Sullivan, the man in motion. Thompson, here comes pressure. And unfortunately, I think Good got hurt at the end of that play. Diving effort for a catch, could not bring it in. So it's going to be third down and long, but again, of note for DePauw, one of their leading defensive players in Brevin Good just kind of pulled up lame on that attempt as Liam Thompson got around him.
Yeah, that was some of the pressure, Steve, that we just mentioned. I mean, one of the first times we've seen that. It was awkward. I couldn't tell if Good got held, but no, he clearly kind of stubbed his foot in the ground and came up awkwardly. We saw him limp over the sideline and bend over. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That would be a huge loss for DePauw.
Connor Thompson was the intended target, just couldn't defy the laws of physics to bring that ball in. So third down and 10. On the draw, it's Campbell. And it's a solid game, but not enough for a first down. And might we see the punt team for the first time today? Looks like it.
Is this where they long snap and they kind of kick it down to the other team? Is that what that is?
That is the general concept, yes. Is
okay,
you give the football back to their team, but you gain field position in doing so.
It's been a while since
it was a play that was much more popular in the last millennium of college football, by the way.
Might be the easiest job on campus right here. Punter.
Right.
A la Hunter Smith in the 2003 playoffs for the Colts. So first punt of the day, if you could not tell. Blake White, who is the heir apparent to Liam Thompson as the quarterback next year, kicks that away. Whitehead simply gets away. A very pro-Wabash roll. We'll see that ball nestle down at about the 10-yard line, and that'll be a 50-yard kick with no return.
Yeah, sometimes the kicks that don't look so great end up pretty good, especially on these fields once they get bouncing and rolling. So let's see if the Wabash defense can respond as the DePauw defense just did coming out of the locker room.
Blake White played at Lutheran High School on the south side of Indianapolis. Played for Dave Pash, and Dave thought so much of the experience for one of his players. His son Jake is here playing at Wabash as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. You'll see number 7 right there at the bottom of your screen. Jake Pash, the son of Coach Dave Pash. They got another win last night to go to the semi-states.
Hand off to Baumgartner. Tries to bounce it outside. Nothing there. Gavin Rupert helps shut the door. A rare negative play for either side today. It's second and long.
Are we watching the same game? A 3 and out, a punt, a negative play. This is, hey, adjustments have been made, it looks like.
I think the defense has realized that half number 1 wasn't good for either one of them.
Yeah.
Basically, both teams had 4 drives in the opening half. 3 touchdowns for DePauw, 2 touchdowns and a field goal for Wabash. Quigley in motion. McCahill throws. It's Ballantyne in his first catch since the opening drive. Nice tackle made out in space by Wabash. Avery Epstein makes the play.
This makes it a 3rd and manageable now for the Tigers. They were really backed up there when a punt was going to be dangerous. So this is a really big play right here, not just get the first down, to get some more breathing room and see if we can get back on track offensively.
And my apologies, Avery Epstein on the tackle for Wabash College. We'll explain his background and the tie that place has to Wabash College coming up in a matter of moments. 3rd and 4. Baumgartner won't get there. Turned back after a gain of 2. Owen Volt makes the tackle.
And that's the play we saw both Baumgartner and Whitehead probably pick up a first down in the first half, getting those extra yards we mentioned. And this time, Wabash, great tackling, didn't allow Baumgartner to get anything extra.
So Bolt gets the stop, and here comes DePauw to punt the ball away. Let's go back to Avery Epstein, one of several players from the Bowles School in Jacksonville, Florida, that have made their way to Crawfordsville.
The Bowles School in Jacksonville, Florida, of all places. Cooper Sullivan, kind of one of the first to come. We have brothers Will and Ben Netting, Avery Epstein, and it's funny how you get, school like that, a trail of kids coming, and they just kind of follow each other.
DePauw to punt the ball away. Pressure applied, and I don't think this play is going to count. Gomez got it away, but is there a flag thrown here?
Delay of game on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 4th.
And there have been some adventures in the punting game for DePauw this year. This has not been, they haven't had to punt very often, but when they have, they've had some miscues this season.
Yeah, this is where you don't want to see it either, inside your own 20-yard line. I mean, field position is very crucial with these offenses, and now you give up more.
And some rather boisterous Wabash fans right behind the punter and Ben Gomez.
Yeah, wouldn't we want to be a DePauw fan having to sit in those stands today?
Gomez got this one away, no problem, and Sullivan calls for the fair catch. He's had 1 punt. Again, Wabash normally has fair catches on those punts. Little Giants take over at the 39-yard line. So these two schools dedicated to matching each other step for step. First it was touchdowns, now it's punts. Drive number 3 of the 3rd quarter coming up momentarily here for the Tigers.
Well, not that we're surprised, but this is certainly shaping up to a game that's gone right down into the 4th quarter and down to the wire.
What we thought we would not see today is what happened the last couple of years, where you had one team get out to a big lead, had the comeback in 21, not so much in 22. We didn't think that would happen today. It's exactly where we are. It's a ball at the 39-yard line. Thompson, here comes that pressure, but finds an outlet. Solid gain on first down.
Thompson pass complete to number 85.
Catch is made by Connor Garrity, the backup tight end to Penn Stoller. That's actually a big part of the story for Wabash. Penn Stoller on your screen right now really has been a big threat all year. We have not really mentioned his name in terms of the passing game all day long.
Yeah, well Penn Stoller, I don't think has any catches today, and I'm not even sure he has any targets today, which is surprising. Coach Merrill thought he might be a big part of the offense.
First completion of the half for Liam Thompson. Handoff, Snyder. Off right tackle, dives, and I think he's going to have just enough for the first down at the 49-yard line. It is first down, Wabash.
Well, that's back to what we expected after seeing the first half. The chains are moving, and I think maybe each team offensively needed to get a little settled after coming out of the locker room, and Liam Thompson has the Little Giants right back on the move.
By the way, we'll send some shout-outs to watch parties across the country, whether you're watching from Carmel or Big Spring, Texas, or Germany. Thanks for tuning us in on the ISC Sports Network this afternoon.
Maybe some Colts fans in Germany.
Absolutely.
Traveling fans.
People ask, you making the trip to Germany? I said, no, I got the Bell Game this weekend.
That's right.
Thompson, that ball was stripped. It's still free. And I think DePauw's got it. Yes, they do. There's that pass rush. DePauw gets home and rips the football away.
That's what we were looking for. We said, hey, it's going to be a big play defensively for one of these teams. It probably changes the tide of this game. DePauw comes up with it. First sack of the game, first turnover from Wabash, and we'll see if the Tigers can capitalize and really open up a lead.
I believe that was David Gould that picked up the loose football. Joey Rowland amongst those that got there.
Defense number 3, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
But as you can tell, holding in the defensive backfield wipes away the turnover, and what a momentum change in this one.
Wow, yeah, you're not kidding. I didn't even see the flag. I was looking to see, what kind of defense the Wabash is going to run out onto the field, and I was watching the replay of the fumble. But those are just killer penalties on those defensive holds.
Matthew Coombs, the guilty party. He's a junior from Bishop Chatard High School.
So reprieve for number 2, Liam Thompson. Let's see if he can take advantage of this with he and the Little Giant offense.
You see that a little more often when the quarterback's really back there in the pocket for a while. That pass rush got to him pretty quick, so that hold must have happened pretty soon after out of the line of scrimmage.
6-man box for DePauw. Thompson will keep. Great job to make a tackler miss, and another, and a first down, and bouncing outside. Thompson steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line. First and goal, Wabash, after a gain of 32.
What's amazing, a couple times in this game we've seen some big penalties, and right after those penalties, some really big plays. When DePauw had the touchdown wiped off the board 2 plays later into the end zone, and now 1 penalty and a big play later in Wabash is first and goal.
Talk about showcasing his running ability. I mean, he made a guy miss for a 3-yard loss to cut inside and then make the cut back, looking like a running back on some of these runs.
Now a whistle comes in. And we'll listen to Pete Hampton's call of a potential penalty.
The clock was stopped for an injury for number 2. He must set out a play.
So Liam Thompson has to come out. So with that, again, we reference the punter, Blake White, who is the backup quarterback for Wabash. I want to point this out. DePauw had allowed 416 yards rushing all season. Wabash has 243 yards rushing today. Handoff goes to Snyder.
That handoff
Snyder
is to number 9.
Runs through contact, picks up 2 yards, and Liam Thompson will come right back in.
Greg, you mentioned the Monon Bell telecast parties. There are 44 of those around the country that are organized with Wabash and DePauw fans. Those are Wabash ones, 44, but most of those are with DePauw fans, and all around the country, all of them watching us on this broadcast and watching a great game in front of them.
We're hoping we're giving you a slice of home from Western Indiana on this gorgeous late fall day. Second and goal, 7-yard line. Thompson looks. Buying time. will run. Flag comes down late. Thompson in the end zone, but this is likely coming back for a hold. The celebration is brief, and it will be assessed against the Little Giants.
Yeah, it was a pretty blatant hold there on the right side of the line, but still, I mean, even looking at that play, Liam Thompson is doing anything he wants to on the ground against DePauw, even after he gets across the line of
Holding,
scrimmage.
offense number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains second.
The player that was being held for DePauw is Ethan Lowry, one of the numerous senior outstanding defensive players on this DePauw squad. Senior from Heritage Christian High School.
2 big penalties on this drive. Think about it. We had the defensive hold on the DePauw turn when DePauw got the fumble recovery. They kept the drive going. Now a score nullified by the penalty. I'm not saying they're wrong at all. I'm just saying there are 2 big penalties, 2 big fouls on this drive.
Second and goal, 17-yard line. And a little option. Thompson will keep. Thompson picks up 5. Third and goal from just outside the 12-yard line. And again, Wabash will take the field goal if they have to here, but I think DePauw would breathe a sigh of relief if this drive ends with the Tigers still up in front.
Well, especially after you thought you had the ball in Wabash territory following a fumble, but that penalty negated that. Good job at DePauw defending that. We saw that run for a touchdown earlier in the first half by Wabash. That time able to contain Thompson nicely and take away the option pitch.
Wabash 4 of 6 on third down tries in this game. 0 of 1 so far in the second half.
We didn't get that high percentage, though, on third and goals from the 13 very often.
Fair point. Thompson again dropped and sacked. Rolling there again to help clean him up. Gould, who thought he had a fumble earlier. They'll both share a sack on that one. And Rucker will come on for what will be a 34-yard field goal try.
Well, that's a nice response by the DePauw defense. They have to be happy. What a letdown after that penalty, but to have Wabash first and goal, push him back, the penalty helped as well, but to get to Liam Thompson there. Now the second time they've been able to get to Thompson on this drive.
So already a make. His 8th this season. The native of Oklahoma. Snap back. Plenty of leg on this one, and the fans behind the goal post tell me all you need to know. It's good. DePauw's lead is down to 1. Midway through the third quarter, 21-20 in the Monon Bell Classic. You're watching on ISC.
One of my favorite things to do is to take our young men abroad to show them the world. Thanks to the generosity of John and Diane Schrader, we'll be able to go to still more destinations, take more students, and ensure that every Wabash student has a life-changing experience. The distinctive aspect of a Wabash immersion course is it's not just a trip, it's a course. When we encounter Greek texts or Latin texts in our classroom, they're just words on a page. When you go to Italy, you get to experience this stuff, walk on the same stones, for example, in Ephesus, as Wabash students did, that St. Paul walked on. Learning doesn't stop when we end time on site. Students are learning when they are on public transit to another archaeological site or to a church. It continues over meals. These trips will really change their perspective on how Americans are global citizens.
All right, Steve, you're the campus tour guide. What are you looking at here on the Wabash College campus?
That is the top of the chapel, kind of the head of the table, if you will, of the campus circle. And you'll see the academic buildings are on the circle beyond the chapel.
Every campus largely has a chapel. It seemingly is more important here than most places. Why is that the case?
You know, I'm not really sure why that is, but it certainly is. They used to have chapel period where it was mandatory up until the 70s, where students had to go 3 times a week and listen to speakers. That might be part of it. Students all get rung in there when they're freshmen. There's a bell that is rung to say you're officially a student. I think that's part of it. All those things together. We have a chapel sing competition that happens on the steps of the chapel. So it is definitely the head.
It's amazing you say that because I've been hearing a bell in my head all day long. I think that's the victory bell, or the Monon bell that I'm hearing across the way. That continues to be rung from the DePauw sideline. They lead it by 1.
Could just be a hard hitting hangover from the hard-hitting game you saw last night.
I'm very lucky in that the 2 games I get to broadcast this week are Ben Davis Cathedral and Wabash DePauw. That's about as good of an Indiana football weekend as you're ever going to have.
Yeah, no kidding.
So ball at the 25-yard line for the fair catch. And McCahill, 12 of 14 for the game. Handoff, Whitehead. Great little hesitation move. Just allowed his blockers to do their job, and he picks up 5.
He's just slippery, and great job with that quick hesitation, trying to find the hole. He's very patient. You know, he's 4, 5, 6 yards a pop with these moves.
Well, and then you take him out and you throw in the Gus Bus, as you called him, and, you know, he's just going to plow through folks.
2nd down and 5, and again, both teams have been somewhat deliberate. In other words, they think their best defense is their offense being on the field. These 2 teams both top 20 in the nation in terms of offensive yards per game. And again, great push by both the
Whitehead on the carry once again.
Line and the running back, and 3rd down and a yard. 3rd down for DePauw has been a 3 of 5 scenario in today's game.
Oh, you're right on how deliberate they are, Greg. We haven't really seen DePauw push the ball far down the field. We've seen some nice plays on some quick hitters and then run after the catch. The one shot they took, the deep one to Smith, that was the interception.
Blake Woodard in as the H-back for DePauw. Played for his dad in high school football at Plainfield. Whitehead didn't get much, but got what he needed. Needed across the 35-yard line. Needed 1, got 2. 1st down, Tigers.
Number 11.
How even has this game been? Both teams with 16 first downs in this game.
I was looking at the halftime stats, Rick. Not just that, everything. Total yards, penalties, everything was pretty much even. But DePauw, they're just sticking with what works. I mean, eventually, you expect to see them take a shot because they're going to open things up if they can continue to run the ball like this.
Yeah, that's why I think those 2 stops by DePauw's defense in the red zone really going to make a difference.
And off the right tackle of Blake Hoffman, young man that came back for a 5th season to play 1 more year this game. Quigley dropped. Again, a rare negative play in this game, and we talked about the Jacksonville connection. There's one of them, Will Netting.
Yeah, Will and Ben Netting, both on the Wabash defense. And if you're DePauw, you're just fortunate he didn't catch it and then fumble it as quickly as he got hit.
And Will is one of the rare players that is a transfer into this game. Began playing at Marist College at the FBS non-scholarship level before joining his brother here at Wabash. No gain, 2nd down. Rolling right side, catch made, and gain of about 5, maybe 6. Ballantyne will make it, but again sets up 3rd down for DePauw.
And the other set of brothers that we've heard us mention today and call their names are both Liam and Connor Thompson, also brothers out of North Central High School.
Had the pleasure of seeing those 2 guys play a lot on ISC in their days at North Central together. So 3rd down and 5. Brad, what's your play call here?
Well, I think maybe get McHale back on the move, similar to to do what you did on that previous play and see if you can find something easy in the flat.
4-man rush. Quigley on the crosser. 1st down. Flag, 2 flags come in late. Now, where the first one is, you would assume that that's probably a pass interference or a hold. The second one, you wonder, is that potentially a face mask on that play? Either way, I think it's going to be a very good result for the DePauw Tigers.
Yeah, there's a hold. Seen that already, the indication on the defense.
How even can you be? Both teams have 290 yards.
Holding. Defense number 7. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Both teams have 5 penalties for 45 yards assessed in this game.
Yeah, the stat line is pretty remarkable, looking down through the team stats.
9-yard line, 1st and 10 Tigers.
Tackle made by Holzclaw. Quigley picks up his 5th catch for 82 yards. Quigley, a senior, playing in his last Bell game, trying to make it memorable. McCahill looking for the downs. Man is all by his lonesome, but could not connect. It's Jalen Smith, the defender, had stumbled. He could have walked in from there with a touchdown.
Yeah, and McCahill was the first one to know it, to jump up and down, to be upset with himself. And it takes a good arm to overthrow Jalen.
Yeah, it really does. That's a fast
Yeah.
receiver, and he showed that by getting that separation. That's the deep shot, I was talking about. You'd expect the Tigers to take here at some point. It's been open. It was open on the interception, too. So Smith is finding his way behind the defense. Quigley just unable to hit him.
McCahill, just his third incompletion of the day.
Sorry, it'd be odd if Quigley was trying to hit him. That would be McCahill.
McCahill throws it high. So back-to-back incompletion. Tried to go right back to Smith. And coverage applied by Wabash. And that's Holzclaw. And it's now third down.
This is something we haven't seen much of for DePauw. Even that last 3rd and 5, they've not been in 3rd and long much at all this game. Definitely not 3rd and 10.
They have not.
There aren't many folks that are seated on this near sideline supporting Wabash College.
And this is in that funny territory. The DePauw's likely thinking, let's just get a chunk. It's a 4-down territory position.
Screen, great call. Whitehead with a lead blocker. Tremendous open field tackle. There looked like there was a wall there, but Cooper Jarvis makes the play.
It sure did. Wow, I thought he was going to be walking from the first down. And just a great play getting through the blocker by Cooper Jarvis.
Punt team going to come on before I can ask you the question, Brad. Do you think about it 4th and 5, or are you kicking this one away?
I think this is the right call. I think if he had gotten down, 4th and 2, maybe you do that. I think here you try to pin Wabash back. Your defense has already shown, despite one bad penalty, they're playing a lot better in this second half.
Angled punt. Sullivan calls for a fair catch. And this one at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, I like that move by Coach Dietz. I think you pin Liam Thompson and the Little Giants back deep. Your defense is playing better. You see what they can do here and maybe get a 3-and-out and get the ball back quickly.
All right, let's go to the sidelines. Kelsie Kasper's got an injury update for us. Kelsie, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, couple updates from the DePauw sidelines regarding injuries. Brevin Good, the senior linebacker, went down in the opening drive here in the second half. The trainers were really working on his right knee. Several minutes spent on the trainer's table and players coming over, patting him on the back. He is still on the sideline, standing and limping. You could tell he still wants to be out here. And then as far as what we saw in the first half, Nolan Tully with the left shoulder injury, he's already back in this game playing, you guys.
Thank you very much, Kelsie. Great job on the sidelines. Handoff for Snyder. He's gotten the lion's share of carries here in this half. And again, he is the starter, but has missed some time dealing with a concussion during the course of this season.
Tell you what, if Brevin Good is unable to come back in this game, that is a big loss for the DePauw defense, not only talent-wise, but emotional leader, guy that's been experienced and played in a lot of these big games for the Tigers.
Corner blitz, won't get home in time. So Thompson turns upfield, and Thompson spins away from contact, picks up the first down. And in the story of this game, yes, DePauw is leading. DePauw average allowing 1.7 yards per carry on the season. Wabash is north of 8 yards per carry in this game.
Yeah, I thought we could run the ball. Well, based on what Don Morrell told me, that we could run the ball. I didn't think we would be able to do it at this extent. Now, a lot of that's come on the heels and the legs of number 2, which isn't surprising based on what we've seen all year long.
Thompson now 12 carries, 132 yards. Thompson slings it, catch made, first down. That's the backup tight end. Second time we've called Connor Garrity's name. Just the 6th completion for Thompson, but it's a first down for Wabash.
It's a great pass, a nice catch. It looked like he bobbled the ball just a bit, but he's able to rip it or bring it home, and Tully hanging on for dear life saved a touchdown.
Yeah, he certainly did, and it's just fun to watch Liam throw those types of balls. I want to give a quick shout-out to Chris Denari. I know you run that text as well, Greg. The voice of the Pacers. He is on the plane with the Pacers heading to Philly for their game.
They've got 2 games to the Indiana Pacers. There is Campbell. Campbell picks up 8. And since he's watching / listening, Chris, I'm filling in for JMB on Tuesday. I'll give you about a time to get you on the show. So we'll go ahead and have this production meeting for radio while we're doing the Monon Bell broadcast.
When I want to point out, he is watching because he is Wabash class of 1983 and was on the 1982 National Championship basketball team.
Second down and 2. Of course, Pete Metzelaars and the late Merlin Nice, the 1-2 combination of that tremendous national championship team. Handoff, Campbell. First down, Wabash. He's taken down after a gain of about 12 yards.
Well, like I said, Campbell he'll surprise people, and he's really good about protecting the football. You can see how he holds it up in front of him against his chest and then finding the opening, getting what he can.
Jake Comer in on the tackle. The 30-yard line. 277 yards rushing for Wabash, 69 yards passing.
That school record may end up safe, and we didn't expect that coming into this game.
I was just thinking the same thing. Handoff goes to Campbell. He'll be taken down after a gain of 3. The happiest guy on the joint tonight might be Jake Nutt. If Wabash can win and Thompson has less than 175 yards passing, Giants win and Jake remains as the school's all-time passing leader for about 7 days. Because if Wabash wins, they'll play in the NCAA playoffs, and
right.
That record could go by the wayside.
Yeah. Jake would want nothing more than Liam to get this today and break his record. I just saw Jake outside of the stadium before the game. Actually, he's here and ready to go.
2nd and 7. Thompson looks. Fires, catch made. Sullivan, if he can stay in bounds, he's got more yards to pick up. It'll be a first down for Wabash.
Yeah, and that's a good example of a throw from the opposite hash to the other sideline and how quickly he can get the ball out there with his arm strength. And if Cooper would have known that, he could have stopped and stayed in bounds and taken off. But don't think he would have scored, but he'd have got a few more yards.
Clock is rolling. Wabash will run at least one more play before we get to the 4th quarter. This game is as close as it can be, going to the final 50 minutes, which is exactly what we thought would happen. It's Tyler, and Tyler grabbed by a trio of DePauw defenders. Ben Berger amongst those in to make the play for DePauw. Berger, a senior from Wheaton, Illinois. 4 fingers in the air on both sides. It's 4th quarter of this Monon Bell Saturday in Crawfordsville. DePauw 21, Wabash 20. Where else would you rather be than right here? Back in 60 seconds on ISC.
Do you have what it takes to be a Tiger?
Join Team DePauw, where academic excellence
meets athletic prowess.
With world-class facilities, we provide the best opportunity for your success.
Our dedicated coaches and staff foster a winning culture.
At DePauw, we're not just successful in the classroom.
We win conference championships
and crown national champions.
Join us at DePauw, where you can roar your loudest. Come visit us and be a Tiger for a day. We are Team DePauw.
Welcome to DePauw University, where our campus is a blend of tradition and innovation. It is on these hallowed grounds that we have earned a place among the nation's 50th most beautiful campuses, and we are the #1 liberal arts college in the state of Indiana. Our collaborative campus thrives on diversity, curiosity, and inclusion, where faculty and staff support students' passions and achievements. Be a part of something bigger and roar with pride. We are Team DePauw.
Whether you are watching us from California or South Africa or all points in between, thanks for spending part of your Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Saturday morning with us on the ISC Sports Network. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Wochomurka, Steve Hoffman, and Kelsie Kasper. 4th quarter, here we go. 21-20, DePauw leading Wabash. 2nd and 8, 13-yard line. Tyler, handoff, plows forward, give him 3, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, I think you're 4-down territory here, no question, at this point, barring something unforeseen or some negative yardage here on 3rd down. DePauw really trying to dig in here. It'd be a huge stop if they can make it.
Yeah, although if you don't get any yards here, if you're Wabash, I mean, you're probably kicking to get the lead. You got to get to, I think, a 4th and maybe even 1 or
2,
less to go for it.
Play clock is at 10. Liam throws it, caught. Think he's down just shy of the goal line, yes. First down, not a touchdown. First and goal, inside the 1, Derek Allen.
Derek Allen with the sticky fingers on that catch. Wow, what a catch to go up high and bring that down. What good coverage.
Yeah, frankly, he'd like to have one back from the end of the first half, but great play there.
Yeah, it was similar to the one we had earlier that DePauw threw down in front of us in the sideline here. Just good coverage, but threw it right where it needed to and great hands.
Snyder will be the tailback on this play. And just outside of the goal line. Snyder scores it. Wabash in front with 13:45 left to play.
That's a really nice drive by the Little Giants, too. You know, DePauw chose to punt on that 4th and 4, 4th and 5. The idea of pin Wabash back, and they did just that. But Wabash easily right down the field. Now the DePauw offense is going to have to match.
So Snyder, Campbell, and Tyler, all 3 running backs have a touchdown today for Wabash College. Rucker on for the extra point. Adam Mullett, the holder. And the kick is good. 27-21. Little Giants lead. 13:45 left to play. DePauw looks to start the comeback. When we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
The DePauw School of Business and Leadership is different from many other collegiate business schools. Our SBL serves every student at the university.
The fact that we have a school opening to enhance this existing strength that DePauw has held since its inception is a guarantee that the legacy will continue.
We're taking a holistic approach and integrating the school throughout the learning journey so that we can produce highly valued, distinctive educational experiences.
When I think creative school, I'm thinking of traditional fine arts training. With the new degree programs in music, we will more easily be able to connect students to music and another discipline.
A co-curricular musician is a term for a student who is not majoring in music. They could be on a sports team as well as be in an ensemble, so they don't have to choose one or the other.
A 6-point lead for Wabash, 27-21. This may easily come down to who has the ball last.
Rucker set to kick.
You know you've made it when you get your own graphic in the Monon Bell broadcast. The Sphinx Club.
That's right. Those guys are special around here, and you know, Wabash's own Spirit Club and the well-known red and white striped overalls.
It's a much more comfortable day for them to be wearing those than some Monon Bell games
like
past.
Last year.
Yeah.
More comfortable. I'm guessing we would have seen the exact same thing, though, last year, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely,
yeah.
We did. Another short kick. Whitehead will bring this one back from inside the 20. Bounces it outside, and will be taken down at about the 36-yard line. And again, Whitehead, 39 yards of return. It's why he didn't fair catch that.
Yeah, I can't imagine why Coach Morrell didn't want to kick the ball to number 11. Yeah, he's impressive.
15-yard return, but it's ball on the 30.
So Brad, what do you think we see here from DePauw? Not just the end result, but how do you get the job done if you're the Tigers?
Well, I mean, they were moving the ball, running it, and then, you know, they overthrow on Smith, I think, on first down, and led to that eventually long third down after an incompletion on second down. So I'd expect the Tigers to come out and see what they can get on the ground here. Those quick passes have worked, and see if they can work it down the field that way.
Quick hitter. It's Whitehead, and Whitehead,
pass complete to
it's out to about the 42-yard line. Let's go to the sidelines. Quick report from Kelsie Kasper.
Yeah, guys, a bit of reaction after that Wabash touchdown to take the lead. Quarterback Liam Thompson came off the field with a straight face, acting like he knew this team was going to get that score, but don't let that fool you. The energy from this sideline is unmatched. 2 phrases this team keeps saying: finish the job and keep going.
Second down and 5. To see the speed at which both these teams move. McCahill pulls. Catch made. Valentine makes a defender miss. First down, Tigers at the 46-yard line, a gain of 12 yards.
Yeah, again, quick hitters. We've seen it on both plays. Valentine nearly dropped that. It might have actually helped him. I think it caused the defender to hesitate a little bit. We've seen a few of those kind of quick curls or quick hitches where the DePauw receiver then able to break a tackle and get some good yards after catch.
By the way, fumble Ruski, not a legal play for a wide receiver.
Right.
Running back, it works. Wide receiver, not so much.
That's what receivers like to call it when they don't catch it cleanly, the fumble Ruski.
We try to make references from all decades on the broadcast. 1st and 10. Roach, the man in motion. McCahill, here's pressure. Somehow avoids it, gets it to Whitehead, and what looked like a sack is going to be awfully close to a first down. We'll see where forward progress is given. Where they mark it now, they'll give it to him. Yep, 10-yard pickup, first down Tigers.
Mark that play, depending on what happens the rest of the game, because that looked like a sure sack, the first of the game for Wabash. And McCahill somehow gets out and still knows he has a receiver right there. And again, the slipperiness by Whitehead to get a ton of yards after catch or after contact.
And tackling were the keys to the game for DC Mike Ridings, and missed 3 of them there.
Handoff, Baumgartner. All kinds of room. Baumgartner spun down by Jarvis, but not until the 19-yard line. Give him 17, another first down.
Well blocked up front by that big DePauw offensive line. Not surprised to see him go on the ground there after a bunch of those quick hitters, successful, kind of spreading that Wabash defense out, and you run it right up the middle.
Again, boys, it could be who has the ball last today. 137 yards rushing. Baumgartner has 64 of those. He had 155 in the Bell game last year. Baumgartner again, similar result, still going, powers through to the 5-yard line, a gain of 14.
Well, there's that Gus Bus we were talking about. I mean, this is the guy I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. He's one of those runners that I think just gets better as the game goes on and you feed him. Now he's been able to stay fresh because of how much Whitehead's been involved. A pretty fresh Gus Baumgartner in the fourth quarter of a football game. That's a scary thing for the defense.
First and goal at the 5-yard line. 363 yards of offense for DePauw. 376 for Wabash. Guess who? Baumgartner again. That time disappears into the pile. He'll get 2.
Well, DePauw's going right down the field like we saw quite a bit in last year's game, but and some this year as well. But with that running attack that we haven't seen them, we know they have a special running attack. Coach Riding said that their running attack is for real. They've certainly showed that off on this drive down deep into Wabash territory.
It is for real because that offensive line is real big.
Oh, they may
that
get
running back is
men on the
real
field.
good.
Yeah, they did.
Wabash has 12 on the field. Free play, Ballantyne, out of bounds. Yep, out of bounds. But
we do have flags on the play.
Flag at the end of the play as well. But the first flag was because Wabash had 12 on the field. So at worst, this play takes place in the 3-yard line again. We'll see exactly how it gets adjudicated here. Both penalties potentially.
Illegal substitution on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Down remains second.
Yeah, it's just the same. 2 officials caught the same penalty.
Yeah, it didn't look good for Wabash when you saw a guy coming on late, and that's only good if there's maybe 10 guys on the field, but knowing there's already 11, they weren't going to get him off in time.
So all inside the 2-yard line.
Boy, you just can't have those types of penalties.
Woodard is the H-back. Baumgartner is the power back. Hand off, Baumgartner, touchdown. An extra point could put DePauw back in front with 10-16 left to go.
You don't want to see it any better than this in the Monon Bell Classic. Back and forth, anything you can do, I can do better. Tie game pending the extra point. Great response by the DePauw offense.
In this era of spread it out and throw it all over the yard, we have had 66 combined rushing plays in today's game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sure didn't see that happening, especially with the offensive styles they have. Now, DePauw likes to run in all sorts of different ways, but Wabash not so much. Getting the legs of Liam really helped those stats for the men in red.
Barry, it's blocked.
Wow.
It's blocked. And we are tied at 27.
Is that a Monon Bell play right there or what? I mean, one team comes, looks like they're going to take the 1-point lead, and they get the big block. Looked like it was kicked pretty low. I don't know what you saw, Brad.
Absolutely, Steve. I think it was a pretty low kick. You wonder, snap issues or a little bit of nerves. That's a big extra point here in the fourth quarter of a tie game.
We'll take a look. And pressure from around the end. It was not blocked there. That was Owen Smith, the player that was diving into your screen.
It looked low. Yeah, you saw. Look, he kind of came up to the ball almost too quickly. Like the timing was off. And kicked it really low. Kicked on top of the football.
Great look from our end zone camera.
Yeah.
59. That is Stephen Thomas that got his hands on it.
You know, you're in there in the interior, and you jump hoping that sometime during the season, the ball's going to hit your hands because it's got to be a low kick, especially in a PAT. Those kickers want to get that ball up really quickly.
Thomas, a senior from Danville. Danville, one of the many high schools that is represented on both sides of this game. Jake Comer representing Jamie Comer's program at Danville for DePauw. And this kick will easily reach the end zone. Touchback.
The other connection, Jake Comer's brother, Sam Comer, is a senior basketball player here at Wabash and a starter on the currently 16th ranked Wabash basketball team.
A house divided.
Today is definitely a house divided.
In the Comer family.
Although both parents did go to DePauw, so there is a little 3-2 edge, or 3-1 edge in that.
75-25 is
75-25. That's good math. Quick math.
I thought you were using that Wabash math for a minute there, Steve, and then you fixed it up. But you know what? Speaking of math, how about the fact that now we've got overtime in play? I know there's still 11 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go, but the equalizer there, I mean, this could very well be a game that gives us some extra time.
Drive at the 25-yard line. Thompson on the out. Catch made. Sullivan stopped right around the 34-yard line. He'll be just shy of the first down. Gives Sullivan 9. It's his fourth catch for 41 yards. And in terms of record watch for Liam Thompson, he is 76 yards away from tying Jake Knott for the all-time school record in passing yards. And a quick explanation. Jake Knott was here for 4 years. One of those was in the Heartland Conference. So that's why Liam now has the conference record, but not yet the Wabash College record. Handoff, Snyder runs through contact. It'll be a first down. Again, great swarming stop by DePauw, but enough for the Wabash first down.
Yeah, and you see that more now with the tush push that made famous by Philadelphia. Not that that's what this was, but you see more and more linemen jumping in there and getting behind the running backs if they get held up and to try to push them across the line or across the first down marker in that case.
First and 10. Late shift by DePauw defensively. Thompson slings it. Catch made. Sitting down right in front of 3 defenders. And there is the aforementioned Penn Stoller, his first catch of the game. Let's talk about his background. Young man from Illinois, he played 8-man football in high school. Was a quarterback, came to Wabash, became a tight end, has become a heck of a player for Don Morrell.
He has been an unsung hero in the last couple seasons and caught a big touchdown against DePauw here 2 years ago in the 2021 Bell game. I'm surprised he hasn't been targeted more, but DePauw might be focusing on him a little bit.
Handoff, Campbell runs through one tackle. Grabbed by tacklers 2, 3, and 4 for DePauw.
Tackle made by number 8.
Luke Nolan in on that play for DePauw.
Luke
Nolan, a junior from Zionsville.
Gain of 3 to the 48-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it's been a bit since we've seen Thompson take off with his legs. A couple of those designed runs in the first half, maybe something we see drawn up again here.
So 2nd down and 7. Sling it. Thompson down the sideline for his brother Connor, and that'll be a flag. Yep. Back in coverage was Cortez Stoudemire, and again in that case, give up the 15, not the big play.
15, yeah, it's a 15-yarder, and that's okay if you're the defense, but you just don't want to give the guy a couple steps to begin with. Yeah, Connor Thompson getting
pass
behind
interference,
him.
Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
What's tough about that ball was so underthrown. If Stoudemire turns around, that's right in his lap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interception. I mean, I get it. You got to run with the receiver. You got to keep going. But if he just turns around there, that's probably an easy pick.
Yeah.
So ball placed at the 37-yard line. You start to wonder, obviously, overtime is a possibility here. DePauw already has an overtime win against Wittenberg this year. Wabash went for two late to win their opening game of the season against Hampton and Sydney. Do you start thinking about those 2-point plays here late in the fourth quarter? Snyder zigs and zags and taken down at the 32-yard line, a gain of 5 yards.
Tackle made by number 21.
Yeah, but the running game continues strong for Wabash, and is setting everything up for Wabash today.
Wabash approaching 300 yards rushing in this Monon Bell Classic. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts at their disposal. Wabash being deliberate. Again, feel their best defense is their offense. Little option game. It's Campbell. Flag thrown. Campbell close to the first down marker, but again, likely this is heading in the other direction.
Yeah, Sullivan kind of gave the "don't look at me" arms after I think what was a block in the back there.
Campbell flags on the play.
Likely a 7th penalty against the Little Giants in today's game.
Holding, offense number 1, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains second.
Second and long coming up.
Feels like every penalty has been big in this game. We haven't had a lot of offsides or a false start that hasn't really had a material impact. All of the penalties in this game have been huge.
Well, 2 penalties have called back touchdowns. The unsporting on DePauw, and then the offensive penalty by Wabash on the hold. And then one was on that fumble recovery by DePauw.
A couple holds on Wabash, knocking him out of field goal range or threatening to. Then the pass interference.
Thompson will go down. A sack.
Thompson dropped in the
There have been very few of those today. DePauw gets home. Siebel makes the play.
Just a killer play for the Wabash offense. Now you're looking at a third and almost 20, little less than 20. And you were in field goal range, or getting close to it anyway, in a tie game.
And that looked like a designed run that time for Thompson. I think it was.
I think so.
DePauw just stayed home and able to make that play.
So ball at the 46-yard line. 3rd down and 19. Play clock at 5. There may be a timeout needed here for Wabash. In formation just in time. This quarterback keeper for Thompson. And Thompson gets what he can, steps out of bounds.
Number 2, Liam Thompson.
A little bit of the wash kind of behind the play. Not really any contact there in terms of going out of bounds.
That was similar to that play we saw in the first half, that 3rd and long, where he was able to pick up, about 17 yards. Yeah.
He couldn't get around the edge here. There was no edge to be gotten. The Paul defense did a good job of stringing that out. There's some conversation going on over here. I don't know what that is. I didn't see any.
Was there a flag late? Let's see.
There is no foul for illegal substitution. The player got off the field in time.
Gotcha. So 4th down and 17.
4th down.
And here comes the punt team on.
Yeah,
just the second time we have seen that. Paul will get the football back in this 27-27 tie. Still some more discussion and debate going on.
Well, Wabash has run some linemen onto the field here, setting up in an offense.
Well, what this is and talk to Don Morell, and again, these coaches were great.
DePauw, first charge, timeout.
About spending time with us. And for DePauw's case, they were off last weekend. So I actually had a chance to go to the DePauw University campus last Wednesday, talked to Coach Dietz. I was here in Crawfordsville this Wednesday, talked to Coach Morrell. And what Wabash should plan to do at some point, they just haven't punted the ball, so you haven't seen this today. Their backup quarterback is their punter. And so basically what you just saw was their second team offense run out in the field. And all that was intended to do was make DePauw do what they just did. Burn a timeout knowing there's now one less if you're going to need that timeout late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Coach Merrill was telling me that he's going to do something like this. He thinks timeouts are really important in these games. And you look at this game, I mean, it couldn't be more important with how it might shape out right now. So it's interesting. You know, there's no downside to him doing it. May even taking a delay of game on that. And so there's really no downside to trying to get them to burn a timeout. And it worked just as he drew it up.
So White on for his second punt of the game. Whitehead back at the 10-yard line to return it again. He is certainly dangerous. This kick, short, but at that distance, perfect. And at the 6-yard line, a 37-yard punt with no return.
Well, the way DePauw's offense went down the field last time, it's not really going to matter if there's 95 yards. The Wabash defense, regardless, has to step up and get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you can get them, 3 and out, or even maybe only one first down, you're going to get the ball back in really good field position. By then, maybe only needing a field goal, or if you only have time to kick a field goal. That's a great punt. Big play for Wabash special teams.
And here we go. Are we shocked? 5 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in this game in the Bell game, and it's a tie game.
And the home team has won the Bell game each of the last 4 times it was played. Last road team to win, Wabash in Crawfordsville in 2017. Handoff, Baumgartner spun forward, and frankly, DePauw would take it 5 yards at a time and keep that clock rolling right now.
Yeah, absolutely they would. Now, easier said than done, but that's a good run on first down. Gets them out of the shadow of the goalposts a little bit and some room to operate.
Gain of 6, second down 4.
Well, you speak about shadows. We don't have lights here. The shadow's starting to creep across the field already. Or sunset these days. Not far past about 5:15. Handoff Baumgartner. Baumgartner has all kind of room at the 20-yard line. First down, and Baumgartner's rush performances the last couple of Bell games, he is writing a chapter in his history of the Monon Bell rivalry.
Well, he really is, and has a chance to really put a stamp on that final chapter if they can keep riding him on this drive. But that's exactly what DePauw wants. Take some time off the clock, give yourselves room to operate, get that first down, open up the playbook.
Again, this game is a season unto itself. This is how the measuring stick is for each of these two schools. But winner of this game represents the NCAC in the NCAA playoffs. McCahill just a bit high, did it for Ballantyne. 5th incompletion of the day. Nathan 19 for 24. And it's second down.
That just sailed on him. He had Ballantyne open. Dangerous, though, when you get a pass that goes a little bit high. And it almost just looked like that kind of slipped out of his hand. You can tell he just launched that too high.
5 incompletions for McCahill, 6 for Liam Thompson. You go to the high schools, it's Cathedral versus North Central of our two signal callers in today's matchup. Fake the handoff, it's a keep. McCahill gonna run this side. Did a great job of reading that play. Everybody just kind of cleared out, going the opposite direction. And McCahill will scamper for a DePauw first down.
And McCahill just directing his offense. His receiver, Jalen Smith, out there basically said, "Go block, I'm coming, buddy." And Smith did a great job of turning around and getting the block to open it up downfield.
Brad, I think that was as much to kind of deke the defensive backs, thinking he was going to throw the football.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when he first pointed, Greg, and I was curious. I started watching Smith to see would Smith run or block. So whatever the signal was intended to do, it worked.
14-yard pickup for McCahill. His earlier carry was a 15-yard touchdown back in the second quarter. Whitehead, the ball carrier, and just gobbled up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Well, and DePauw getting out of the shadow of their own goalpost was a pretty big move too, even if they get out here. And if the Wabash defense can get a stop and DePauw punts it away, at least it makes for a long field for Wabash rather than having to punt from your own end zone.
Brody Fry made the tackle for Wabash. sophomore from Carmel High School. 2nd down and 10. You can feel Little Giant Stadium move, given the atmosphere and what's at stake. 4-man rush. McCahill again, has space. McCahill has the first down. I'm not sure anybody's sliding this game at this point. 16-yard pickup, first down Tigers.
I feel like I owe McCahill an apology for saying earlier in the game that he's just not a threat to run. He's done a great job with his legs a couple of times when needed.
Yeah, we were expecting that from Liam and Wabash, but not so much from McCahill. But he's taking what the Wabash defense has given him.
Fourth quarter of the Bell Game, anything's possible, right?
Again, you are now getting to that point where you're thinking potentially last possession and a field goal. And this drive for DePauw started at their own 6-yard line. McCahill steps up, looking for the downs, and incomplete pass. And Valentine asking for some contact, won't get it. 2nd down.
Little surprised to see a deep shot there, still just at midfield. You've been running the ball well, spread it out, some of those quick passes. But hey, kind of keep the defense honest now, and we'll see if DePauw can get some of those underneath routes going again.
And they're 2 big running plays, big pass plays with McCahill using his feet. But I was a little surprised too, as much as they were running it successfully initially on that out of their own 5-yard line, that they went to the air a little bit. But it's worked out with McCahill's feet.
2nd and 10. Whitehead in the backfield. It's some good open field blocking in front of him. He'll pick up 4 or 5 yards. Will Castor had the block that helped spring him free for those 5 yards. And I'm not sure I need to tell you this because the reaction behind me does. 3rd down.
I think that's where that deep shot on first down, just stopping the clock. You run 30 more seconds off on first down, even if you're facing 3rd and 5 here, but there's, maybe Wabash even would have had to call a timeout.
Both teams have cleared 400 yards of offense in this game. McCahill looking, throws, looking for Quigley, and nearly intercepted. But now a key decision here. You punting on 4th and 5 with 2:08 to go. You're going for it if you're the Tigers.
I'm kicking. I don't think you want to give any chance of giving them a short field like that.
No, I agree. I think you got to punt with this one.
Yeah.
So here comes Gomez on to punt.
That was not a throw you want to see McCahill throwing as a DePauw fan over there, Brad, because there were two guys on him and he threw it short where no one had a chance to catch it except the red jersey.
No, again, you'd almost rather see him just run that slide, again, run the clock, or force Wabash to call a timeout with all 3 left.
Gomez's kick. Again, Sullivan will simply watch it bounce. It takes a very pro DePauw roll. How about this? The punters haven't been called on very often, and they've done their job. Last kick for Wabash down to the 6. This kick for DePauw down to the 7. And here we go. 1:58 left to go.
I love how things affect other things in football. Like you think about the Wabash punt down to the 5. If he wouldn't have done that, if he'd have kicked to get a touchback, they get the ball on the 20. They have the same drive. Now they're in 4-down territory in the Wabash 30 and 40-yard line. But this is what you draw up when you have a Liam Thompson in the offense. This is the position you want to be in. 2-minute drill. We're only 2 seconds off of 2 minutes with 1:58 to go. A true 2-minute drill, 90 yards to go, 93 yards to go.
So 1st down and 10. Looks, throws, and incomplete. But a flag comes in. And this will likely be a 1st down for Wabash.
Yeah, looks like a defensive hold, 1st down. Pass interference, actually. So 15 yards and a 1st down.
And Wabash has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Pass interference, defense number 3. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
They have made both field goals attempted today. That blocked extra point looks absolutely massive at this stage of the game. Running game still available to Wabash because of those timeouts. Blitz coming. Thompson throws. Catch made Allen, tackled inbounds. Great open field play by Stoudemire. Second down.
Yeah, it's a really nice tackle. Looked like that maybe he was going to be able to turn the corner, get upfield, or get out of bounds. That's a great tackle in the open field.
Yeah, Derek Allen doing that motion, coming back quickly to try to get open in the flat.
So second down and 5. Thompson throws it and in and out of the hands of Allen. That was on Allen quickly. Coons, the defensive back in coverage for DePauw. And it's quickly third down for Wabash.
It was on him quickly. I think number 3 would like to come down with that one. I think he normally would come down with that one, but couldn't tell if the defender got a hand in there to help strip it away. Either way, it was good coverage and a big third down play here.
Just really no window at all to complete that pass.
That's the one dangerous thing about having to go this far down the field to get in position for a field goal. You kind of have to throw the ball, which means you can stop the clock too.
Wabash,
and get the ball back
first
to the
charge, timeout.
Right.
Timeout, Wabash. We'll take our final break right here. 88 seconds of regulation to go. We're tied at 27 on the ISC Sports Network.
Please allow the winning.
A Wabash man, if we do our job right, it's the guy who doesn't check any one box.
I think it gives the students a large toolkit to be able to problem solve.
It's a place where young men can grow up and learn the skills necessary to go out and have an impact on the world after they graduate.
One of the great gifts that I got at Wabash was not a specialized skill set that was going to be applicable in my first job out of college, but it was really a commitment to working in groups, lifelong learning, and just a passion for life in general.
There is such a rich tradition of success and accomplishment here. When you think about all of the things that Wabash men go and do after they graduate, why would you not want to be a part of that?
And I thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew enough. Tremendous job by our crew all day long. We've had a great script to work with. Tied at 27, 88 seconds left to go. Third down and 5. Wabash their own 23. Thompson looks, will run. Thompson looking for the first down. I think he's short.
Yeah,
I think he's short.
Well, that's the one great part about being right where we are in the broadcast booth. I mean, that's literally sitting right across from us. I think he's short, yeah, by about a yard.
Jonathan Bruder made the play, and now if you're DePauw, you're calling a timeout to stop the clock. They haven't just yet.
Gamesmanship here, right? Don Morell keeping the offense out, making DePauw think and let that clock roll.
I think I'm still burning a timeout if I'm
Here it
DePauw.
comes. Yeah. Here it comes right here. So timeout taken by DePauw. We reference an overtime victory that DePauw has earlier this year. That was against Wittenberg 2 games ago, October the 21st.
Timeout. DePauw, second charge, timeout. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute. 1-0-0.
So 4 seconds will go back on the clock, and that was the first overtime game that DePauw had played in 15 years. This game in and of itself, we didn't start having overtime in regular season college football till 1996. This game has ended in a tie on 9 times. It obviously won't today. The last time that happened was back in 1980.
I can't imagine Wabash isn't going to punt here, but Coach Morell is just known to do some strange things in this situation. I can see he sent the offense on the field here. I just got a feeling maybe try to draw him off.
Yeah.
Maybe do a quick kick with Liam backing off and trying to get a big punt down there. I don't know. Maybe going for it.
We'll see. 4th and 1. Thompson will pitch it right side, first down. Wow. What a call. 4th and 1 at the 27. Wabash goes for it, and it's first down. But again, clock will restart soon. Wabash does have 2 timeouts remaining.
That's just a great call. Everyone ready for something up the middle, or even maybe just a hard count to try to draw DePauw off sides. You get them frozen a little bit, and you get that yard.
The guts of a burglar on that one. Thompson has plenty of time. Pocket collapses. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And now here comes a timeout for Wabash.
32-yard line.
So Wabash with 1 timeout remaining.
Timeout,
36.
Wabash, second charge timeout.
Want to thank our spotter, Jared Thomas, who has been our extra set of hands up here in the booth. I wanted to make sure we had clarified this before we said it. The Bell game has never gone to overtime. We are potentially 36 seconds away from that being the case.
That's still an eternity for all kinds of wild stuff to happen in this game, but it is getting close.
That's surprising, although, I mean, there has been overtime for a little less than 30 years, probably maybe 20, but still, that is surprising as close as these games can be. DePauw's really not allowed Liam to get as many yards lately as he was earlier with his legs. And then the one where it set up the 4th and 1, very good tackle on Liam. I thought he definitely had the edge on that. So they're just tackling him better than they were earlier in the game.
36.4 seconds left. You're thinking about a field goal. Probably need another 40 yards to think about it if you're Wabash. Rucker has not made from outside of 40 this year. You'd think maybe you try one from 50 and in, frankly, at this point. 4-man rush. Thompson throws. Incomplete pass. Stoller was the target.
You got to remember, too, how close that Hail Mary was at the end of the first half. So that's a weapon. That's an option. I mean, I know there's a lot of Lady Luck involved in that, but that was right off the chest in the end zone of the receiver.
And I would say you're probably 20 yards away from having a legitimate shot at one of those.
Yep.
And now a timeout taken by DePauw. So DePauw will take their last timeout with 32 seconds to play.
Third and final timeout.
And they must have saw something they really didn't like there. Like to maybe have that in case you get a turnover or a sack or something and need to stop the play. Yeah, here's the Hail Mary at the end of the half. That's how close this game is.
DePauw fans will rue a missed extra point, a blocked extra point. Wabash fans will think about that catch that could have been. And whichever team wins this game won't think about either of those plays at all. So that's the nature of a rivalry game.
Right.
Wabash can stop it one more time.
And that timeout that DePauw had to call on that punt now looming large here. It's 3rd and 10, right? Let's say they pass the ball. They're going to punt on 4th and 10 here, or even 4th and probably anything longer than 5 or 6. You just never know. A shanked punt, something that you really would like to have an extra timeout, I think, if you're the Tigers. So they must have really saw something they didn't like there on defense.
No, that's a good point. So Wabash gets no yards here, and then they just wait till their last play and try to throw a Hail Mary, or maybe just burn it. Or
they may just
run it out.
Counter for Campbell, who is dropped.
Like now.
And now we're going to OT, it looks like.
Don Morrell does not need to call another play. And we will have, and think about this, fellas, 129 playings of this game. We're about to have a first. Overtime in the Monon Bell Classic. We have nowhere else to go, right?
Amanda, I'm going to be late for dinner, and it's great.
I'll vouch for him, Amanda. It's perfectly fine. So, 27 points apiece. This game goes to overtime, and DePauw had not played an overtime game in 15 years. They're about to play 2 of their last 3 games of the season. Oh, and by the way, the conference championship and the automatic berth is on the line.
Yeah, this is basically the first round of the playoffs. The loser goes home, the winner keeps playing.
No, it really is. You wouldn't want to have it any other way. I mean, this game means so much every single year when you've got something like this, conference title, an extra game for some of these players in the line, and there is no playoffs for the loser in this scenario. So to have it mean this much more and now go to overtime, you can't ask for anything better than this.
Yeah, let's explain. There are basically the equivalent of 4 at-large bids in Division III football with 32 teams. And frankly, those usually go to the WIAC, the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. They go to the OAC as well. So let's explain to you, because there have been changes in the last couple of years in the overtime rules. The first one is kind of what has been the 25-yard line, the way we have played college overtime since the fall of 1996. Then, and you can hear the PA announcer announcing those to the group here. On the second overtime, you start at the 25, but you can't kick the extra point. you have to go for a 2-point try. If we do not have a winner after 2 overtimes, it is simply 2-point conversions from that point in time on, because we were getting 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 overtime games. So almost as a point of player safety, we get to that. So now the question I will have for you, we'll answer this kind of around the words of Pete Hampton, meeting with our 2 team captains, Liam Thompson representing Wabash, Ethan Lowry representing DePauw. Let's see if we get a keyed up mic for this conversation or not. We don't yet. This will be a coin toss. Charlie Hammock, our camera operator, that is out there giving you, well, you're really the 6th man in the conversation, frankly. Thousands watching across the world, and it centers around 2 officials and 2 team captains standing on the Wabash W. So the coin toss won by Wabash. And you would think that Wabash would want to have the ball second. And then because the wind is not a factor, DePauw says, let's go to the
in the first overtime. Wabash has selected to go on defense. First down for DePauw at the 25-yard line.
All right, so now with that, again, it's more conventional football from the 25, but how many 2-point plays do both teams kind of have in the bag? When do you start going to that? And again, here is the explanation of the overtime rules in graphic fashion. Steve, I'll start with you.
Yeah, just, like I've said this all game long, with Coach Merrill, you just don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he might. Now, with being on defense first, it's kind of the decision's kind of going to be set up for him, whether he wants to go for 2 or not in the first overtime period. But you just wonder how many 2-point conversion plays each coach has in their pocket.
Do you go for 2 immediately if you're either of these coaches?
Interesting call. I mean, one, both these defenses played a lot better in the second half, and we're real football out here from the 25 right now, so it wouldn't be surprising. I wouldn't be shocked if one of these defense forces a field goal attempt or something, but no, I think you probably kick the first time, at least DePauw if they scored here.
Quigley, the man in motion. Baumgartner. And Baumgartner limited to a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Unless you're DePauw and you're worried about that last extra point and what happened there, and it could give you a reason to think about going for 2.
And again, they've had some kicking game issues this year as DePauw.
Well, DePauw's last one was blocked. He knows Coach Morrell is very likely to go for 2 for the win. I don't know if that gets him to go for 2 if he feels good about it. I mean, if that running game, that helps.
That ball hits the H-back, and Wabash recovers. Oh, my goodness. And it's Jake Pash that had the fumble or the recovery late in the game to win at Hampton-Sydney in game number 1. It hit the H-back, and now Wabash can win it with a field goal.
Unbelievable. I mean, we said it might take a big play or a bad play or a busted play to change the outcome of this game. We might have seen it right there.
Yeah, a busted play, not anything you want as a DePauw fan. But look, Wabash here, I mean, we can't be celebrating too much here. We're only on the 25-yard line. You can't just, get nothing and try to kick a field goal from here. You'd rather not do that. So you got to try to punch it in here. And you got to protect the ball yourself.
Amazing things happen in this rivalry game. It is Tyler that is the setback here for Wabash. Tyler gets the handoff. And he'll plow forward for 5. And obviously time is no longer a factor. It's just about the play clock.
Greg, you were talking earlier about the playoffs, and there are 4 at-large bids for a team that isn't an automatic qualifier. The North Coast Athletic Conference hasn't historically got 2, but if it is DePauw here looking at it, they're looking at 9-1 too. Have a pretty good shot at one of those, I would think.
Second down and 5. Handoff, Tyler. Tyler shimmies and shakes. He's going to be just shy of the first down. Picks up to the 16-yard line. 3rd down and 1.
Takes it down to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, you got a ton of options here. Thompson with his legs and what he can do. You're just having success just right up the middle right now, just moving that ball methodically.
And Wabash trying to get back to the postseason for the first time since 2019. Wabash trying to get a share of their 10th NCAC championship. They would share it with DePauw, but they would get the auto bid because of the win in head-to-head competition. Fake the handoff to Tyler. Thompson throws. Sullivan couldn't get it. Rucker races towards the sideline. Here comes the field goal unit on. Rucker looking to make his third kick of the day and send this place bonkers.
Boy, you certainly would rather not sit on this kick, though. I mean, he had Cooper wide open. I think it was Cooper, and couldn't quite connect there, and it'd been a lot easier just to run some more plays there, but here we go.
Brett Dietz is going to take a timeout at some point to ice the kicker. He'll let Rucker think about it. Here comes the timeout. Bell is being moved just in case.
Timeout, DePauw. First and final timeout of the overtime period.
Already a blocked extra point by Wabash. Can DePauw do something of a similar ilk?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. Now, Sullivan was open. A little surprised to see that pass on 3rd and short. You know, the way that Thompson can run the ball, the way the backs have been able to push the line there. Now, I mean, look, no field goal is safe. When you got a snap, hold, kick, it just leaves a lot of chance there. Surprised they maybe didn't try for a simple run to pick up that first down.
Right. Yeah, it was right, 3rd and 1.
The holder is Adam Mullett. The snapper is Sam Long. Rucker has already made 2. If he makes a 3rd, he's remembered forever around this campus. Snap. Placement. Blocked.
Wow.
Blocked. We're still playing. Tied at 27.
They say DePauw never quits, and right there, the Tiger defense, the Tiger special teams proving that saying true. That is a momentous play to keep the Bell game alive, to keep the season alive, and the playoff hopes alive.
These teams have matched each other step for step all day, so why not? Why not?
Yeah, I think it's similar to how DePauw missed their extra point. The snap to get him off a little bit. Timing, it was a high snap, and I think it just affected his timing, and another low kick. You don't want kicks to get blocked at the line, right? They need to get up above the line.
Ethan Lowry, captain at the middle of the field. Ethan Lowry makes the play to keep DePauw's undefeated conference championship and playoff possibilities alive.
And now gets to come right back out for another coin flip. What an afternoon for this young man leading this defense.
Well, we certainly hope you are enjoying today's game. We point to so many things around the game in and of itself as to what makes it special. Just the game alone makes this today one of the best games in all of college football on this second Saturday in November.
You can't ask for anything better. And I mean, you know, great plays and then those hard to swallow mistakes, and we've seen it from both sides. Penalties, a couple of turnovers, now a couple of blocked kicks. Who knows what's going to happen in this overtime period?
Yeah, it was sure looking good for Wabash after that first overtime, or the half of that overtime with the fumble and the rough snap. But you know, you got to finish, and like you said, Brad, just now, you just don't know what's going to happen in these games, and be interesting to see where this thing goes.
Still wonder. I mean, look, Coach Morrell, you never know what he's going to call.
Overtime,
he's great at it.
DePauw has chosen to go on defense. First down at the 25 for Wabash.
But you do wonder about throwing on the 3rd and 1 there and leaving it into special teams. I mean, you're running the ball the last 2 plays really well. You got a quarterback that's mobile. You need a yard just to kind of move the chains. Maybe 1 he'd want back.
So you got to go for 2 if you score a touchdown on this one. And this is the last overtime in which we will play from the 25-yard line. If we get to another overtime, then it is just 2-point plays from that point in time on. And obviously, if you win, if you want the not the toss, but you elect to go on defense first always. So Wabash will switch ends of the field. They can be in front of their fans in the south end zone. An extra blocker in is Ruiz, is in as an extra tight end. And it's Tyler as the tailback. Tyler Into the pile. Picks up 2. Joey Rowland did his best trying to strip that ball away for DePauw, which is something that neither team has done much this year. And one of these was erased because of a flag. But DePauw and Wabash have fumbled the ball each once all season. Now, that may have been the second fumble, the way that it snapped off a DePauw player on the last drive, but
still remarkable.
Right.
9 games in.
Only Susquehanna in Division III has gotten through the year without a fumble until today. Thompson throws, end zone, and Allen could not separate from Cortez Stoudemire.
Greg, if anyone would know where Susquehanna is, I know it's you.
Well, Susquehanna has a radio station on the northeast side of Indianapolis. That's what I know about Susquehanna.
Okay.
I think they sold to Cumulus back in the day. So the answer is, I think it's Virginia, but don't quote me on it.
Gotcha.
But we know they know how to protect the football.
That they do. Wherever they are, they got it on lockdown.
Yeah.
3rd down and 8.
I'd be surprised if Liam did get something with his legs in one of these next couple of plays.
Three-man rush. Extra backer in coverage. Thompson buying time, and finally just kind of realizes nothing there. But a flag is thrown and a hold against Wabash. And
when the defensive lineman's pads are outside of his jersey, that's usually a good indication that something was pulled, yanked, or held.
And this is a really interesting call, because either you're looking at 4th and 9 from the 24, or if you back them up, now you're back to the 33.
Out of field goal range.
Correct.
What do you do, Brad?
But Liam Thompson has life if you give him the ball back.
By the way, David Gould was the player that drew the hold.
Holding, offense number 59. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
DePauw is going to take their chances in terms of potentially blocking a kick or getting a miss, because this kick would be 41. Thompson, knowing that play wasn't there. So this would be the longest of the season made for Rucker. It was Lowry that got the last one. And this kick, good. Wow. So Rucker has a new season long. Wabash is in front. A DePauw field goal ties it. A DePauw touchdown wins it.
Yeah, I still think that's the right call, declining that penalty. That just, Liam Thompson's so dangerous. If anything, probably gets some of that yardage back. And you also open up desperate defense, penalty situation, throw the ball downfield, get a pass interference. I think that's a challenging field goal right there, and it was a great kick.
I think you're right. Would get the ball out of number 2's hands when you can.
We've mentioned some of the different locations fans are watching from. I'm kind of scrolling occasionally in the YouTube chat room on ISCSportsNetwork.com. I'll give credit to Taylor for the comment of the game. This game has taken years off of my life. It goes in both directions, given what's at stake for each of these two teams. Fake the handoff. McCahill throws, catch made, tackle made immediately. Gain of just 4.
That pass is complete.
Tackle for Wabash made by Epstein.
You hold your breath sometimes on these long throws across the field. That's just got to be quick timing. It was there, but a good tackle to wrap up.
Right. Well, we talked about this being the matchup of the game, DePauw's offense on the field versus the improving Wabash defense. And, here we go for the game. This is the matchup we're looking for.
2nd down and 6. Quigley makes a man miss, has the first down, taken down at the 11-yard line. First down, Tigers.
It's such a big play because you just feel more comfortable down there, knowing all you need is maybe a field goal to tie. Now you're in fairly comfortable field goal range. You got a new set of downs. You're kind of in no man's land, especially with the DePauw kicking situation on that last play. And Quigley, again, quick move to make a defender miss. That's been the story of the DePauw passing game, these quick passes and breaking tackles.
You did make him miss, and we talked about the tackling. That's one of those tackles that needs to be made. You got a safety right there in the open.
Fake the handoff. McCahill out in the flat. Catch made. Touchdown. Ball game. DePauw will win. And amazingly, it's Will Castor. He was the player that the snap hit him to set up the fumble. He catches the game winner. DePauw has a 10-win season for the first time in school history. They are going to the Division III playoffs for a third consecutive season.
The Monon Bell game is endless in the amount of stories it has told over the years. And Will Castor, in a matter of 20 minutes, redemption from a fumble caused to the game-winning touchdown. DePauw fans rushed the field, 10-0, 10 wins for the first time in school history, like you mentioned, Greg. Conference champions, going to the playoffs, and oh yeah, maybe even most important in all that, keeping the Monon Bell in Greencastle.
First road win in this series since 2017. Allow me not to paraphrase, but to simply reverse the phrasing of Jim McKay. From the agony of defeat to the thrill of victory for Will Castor and DePauw University. The Tigers now 3-time NCAC champions, and they will represent this league. The selection show is tomorrow afternoon on NCAA.com. DePauw knows they will see their name in lights on that board. But Brad, you said it very well. It's amazing in this rivalry. That's almost secondary. It is, did you win the bell? And the answer for DePauw is absolutely.
It is once again. Just an incredible game. We've seen some great games in recent years between these two teams. This is another one, the first overtime game we've seen in this rivalry. DePauw able to complete the perfect regular season. I mean, we're going to remember this one for a long, long time. We're also going to remember the amazing career of Liam Thompson at Wabash for a long, long time, who once again left it all out on this field. One of the best players to ever play at this school, and really, I think, the position in Division III history.
Liam Thompson will finish as the all-time passing leader in North Coast Athletic Conference history. He will finish 61 yards shy of Jake Nutt in terms of the all-time passing record at Wabash College. Steve, as far as this Wabash team and head coach Don Morrell, they lived up to the moniker. Wabash always fights. Absolutely they did. I'll let you finish that thought in a moment. But Kelsie Kasper is standing by with the winning head coach.
Coach, you couldn't make this script up even if you tried. You told me DePauw never quits. How did you finish this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that, it's just our whole motto. You know, it's from Coach Nick from 1981. DePauw never quits, and that's what we do. We did it all year. Same thing against Wittenberg. I mean, dire straits there at the end. But the redemption for that kid right there at the end was I mean, this is Monon Bell. I mean, this is why the rivalry is so awesome. This is why this game's so awesome. This is why the sport's so awesome. I'm just so happy for our team of what we accomplished this year. We set really lofty goals, and today we accomplished those. So I'm thrilled.
We have to talk about that blocked field goal. Down on yourselves, one last opportunity, and your team comes up with it.
It's unbelievable. I mean, what our kids have done, what our kids do, they just always believe, and they didn't give up, and they kept fighting. And what an incredible play by our defense, and just all the way around. We needed every single one. We made some mistakes, but so happy we got redemption for a lot of those things. And this just makes it all so much sweeter. So.
And this team going to the playoffs now, how do you balance the excitement of this and focus on what's ahead?
Honestly, it's really hard. It's hard for both teams, no matter who goes to the playoffs, to come off an emotional win and then turn around and play somebody else who's really, really, really good. But this team's going to bounce back. We're going to respond. This is what we're planning for. This is what we're going for. And so this is just what you plan for. So now we're on to the next thing. So, but super happy with what we did, and just happy for all of DePauw and all the DePauw Nation and everything, all the alums, all the students, former players. Like, it's just magic. It's magic.
The Monon Bell staying in Greencastle. How does that sound?
Let's go!
Thanks, Coach. Congrats.
You are absolutely allowed to react like that into the microphone, given the stakes of this game. Again, we'll see if Kelsie maybe can get us one more player interview. If not, she did a wonderful job in her first Monon Bell class. Look forward to working with Kelsie in terms of future plays. And again, there is the fumble, and you thought, my goodness, that's the end. That's how this game is going to end. No, a blocked kick, and the young man that had the snap hit him on the hip. is the guy that gets the touchdown grab, Will Kasper. Will, this season, had 2 catches for 8 yards and 1 touchdown. And it's Will Kasper that is the guy that in one of the most epic Monon Bell wins of all time brings it home for DePauw University.
You know, for years and years, our good buddy Ken Owen made the Monon memories and so many great video clips and amazing plays throughout the history of this rivalry. That's going to go up there. Those 2 plays we saw together, that's going to be up there with any of them. That's going to be remembered for a long, long time in the history of this rivalry. Will Kasper, I don't even know if he's old enough to drink, but he's not going to buy a drink in Greencastle for the rest of his life. So congratulations to him, and just, sticking his head back up and saying, hey, let's get back out there. Next play, that's what you want to see out of any young man, and a phenomenal job to recover from that play and score the winning touchdown.
Will is a sophomore from Petaluma Heights. He'll have to wait. It'll be just Marvin's GCBs for a while. Then he'll be able to have a beverage or 2.
Yeah, take those free for the rest of your life.
And 2 as well. But because we had Coach, I didn't let you have a chance to finish your thought. Wabash fans won't be happy about the result. You never are when you lose to your rival. But Don Morell's kids, Steve, gave everything they had in this game.
Yeah, I think coming into this game, if we were on the line in Vegas, it would have been a DePauw minus 4.5 or 5 points going into it. And what a show they put on, on both ends of the field. And, coming off the defense has really been improving, and that's really good to see with a new defensive coordinator last year in Mike Ridings, and that's exciting. But, hats go off to Liam Thompson and the career he has put in here that just came to an end today, a little earlier than we would have liked. But what a treasure it's been for 4 years, being able to call his games and being able to watch what he could do not only on the field but on campus and in the classroom.
And Coach Dietz mentioned him, and I want to give you a final opportunity here. We would not be doing our job if we did not mention the legend of Nick Morozes at DePauw University. I'm sure he's looking down, enjoying some Tiger pride right about now.
Oh, gotta love it, baby. That's what he'd be saying. That's what he is saying up there right now. I mean, coined that phrase, DePauw never quits, and they certainly didn't today. And he absolutely, on a beautiful day in Crawfordsville, would have loved every second of this game, every second from both teams, and the back and forth, and really the close, hard-fought nature of this football game. Yeah, he means a lot to the program, those that played for him, those that knew him, and he certainly is happy about this outcome this afternoon.
Some folks I want to thank that make this broadcast possible every year. I want to thank Jim Amadon and Brent Harris at Wabash College. Wabash folks, you are so lucky that those 2 gentlemen work on a full-time basis, as does Steve Hoffman here at this university. There are so many good people here at Crawfordsville, and again, Brent is as good as his job as a Division III SID as anyone at any school in this country. I get fortunate enough to work with Brent during Colts games, and knowing we are here, we are always in good shape. The same is said about Bill Wagner. Nobody calls him Bill at DePauw. It's Wags is what everybody calls him. He is one of the legendary faces behind the scenes in this rivalry. Both of those 2 gentlemen, he and Brent, make my job easy because of the wonderful notes they put together. Jim Amadon is my point of contact with Wabash College. Stevie Baker-Watson, the AD, with Brad Hunter. Moving on to the Indy 11, Stevie's become our contact at DePauw. Congratulations to her and everybody involved at DePauw University. I cannot thank the work of Jordan Shue enough. I get a lot of credit for what goes well with us on ISC. Jordan is the brains of the operation, and the way we were able to show you all of these different angles throughout the course of this broadcast, he's the one that gets it done. There is our entire crew. And as I said earlier, this is in the top 2 of the things that we do each and every year, and we feel like we are stewards of this great game, and we hope that we did our job today in bringing it to you. It always helps when we have a wonderful script to work with. And in a rivalry where so many crazy things have happened, it had never gone to overtime before this one. As I look at the scoreboard, it says quarter number 6. It took 2 overtimes to get this one done, but DePauw will take the bell home with them and all the way into the Division III playoffs. For Kelsie Kasper, for Steve Hoffman, for Brad Wochomurka, my name is Greg Rakestraw. We'll see you 364 days from now at Blackstock in Greencastle. DePauw will have the bell on their sidelines. What a legendary game this was. Thanks for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. DePauw wins it 33-30. Thanks for watching on the ISC Sports Network.